Good evening, party people! Welcome back to the Bar with an X, the only bar on the internet that can guarantee that 7 years in the future, that we'll be here 7 years in the past. That's the joke that I'm trying to make. I'm still working on my stand-up comedy, y'all folks. Hey, what's going on, everybody? As you can see before you, we have 7 beautiful infusions, and my microphone actually can't sit in its correct position without knocking these things over, so excuse me for a moment. Check this out. If you were here last week, exactly 7 days ago, we were basically cutting up a bunch of things, putting them into a bunch of bottles, and lo and behold, something happened. It seems that some of these have turned very nice shades of colors, some of them more so than others, but every single one of them has been left to infuse and to finally age for a certain amount of time, and I think that's beautiful. Also, these glasses are beautiful. Tonight's, as we officially end the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time playthrough here at WithAnX Studios, we're moving on to something else. But before we do so, we're going to savor a summertime spritz for every single sage from the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. We've got the Sage of Light, Forest, Fire, Water, Shadow, Spirit, and of course Time, Princess Zelda herself. I've prepared special infusions for tonight's recipes. If you're curious of how to make those infusions, there's a stream VOD from last week, happens at the same time, exactly 7 days ago, to the hour, to the minute, and you can watch us actually make those. Further instructions for each one of them, I'll try to give my best explanation of them along the way, but until then, I think it's time to get things started. I gotta do a little bit of cleanup because I can't make drinks while the bar is covered in stuff. Every single one of these glasses is gonna get their day. Starting off with the Sage of Light, naturally. I see a bunch of people popping in so far. I saw 80 out there, I saw Imi Chow, I see Ethan, I saw... who else is there? I see Functional as well! I think I got everybody. If I missed you and you're already here, feel free to pop in and say something so I can properly acknowledge your presence. I want to carefully take all these bottles and put them behind me. I don't have much space here. This is exciting. How's everybody's Wednesday doing? Because mine has been going pretty well so far. Without giving too many details. Whoa, hello there, microphone. Hello there. Without giving too many details, we're making some moves here at the Bar with an X. I am excited. Starting up very early tomorrow, I have some very, very cool trainings in my near future, and it's gonna be very cool. Notice me, senpai! You have been noticed officially, Functional. 80 also saying for real though, missed Imi Chow. Imi Chow, no way! Holy moly, that's a lot of bottles! I see that message up there! How you doing, Imi Chow? You know, for those of you who don't know, Imi Chow is one of the only other people in this realm that I am comfortable also calling an ex-bartender, or a bartender with an X. Not like ex-bartender as in like the bartending days are behind them, but like people who frequent the Bar with an X and also make drinks and whatnot. Nothing official as of yet, but the workshop is here for anybody who wants to. And I would also say too, like, although it's not technically a public place that you can come to, if you have recipes that you're just like dying to try, like, it's an open chat, dude. Like, you can say whatever you want to. So, I see Imichao saying, no, he mentioned me, but thank you for the consideration. Well, you get double consideration. Consideration is free, so I'll give it out wherever I can. Ethan says, be careful, and please check out my previous one asking for permission. Permission to show it this time, because I forgot last time, kind of forgot to show the video live stream. It's actually my most popular video currently. I thought I missed the live stream. To show the video live stream. I don't know what you mean by that. Provide some more explanations. Pelvic circles, that's what we're starting out with. And I see Glorfenstein in too, it's great. 80 saying, what's planned after this take an hour scrolling and searching? What games are in the suggestion to play next? So actually, I guess before we should get started, I should tell you guys exactly what we have planned for the game that's next. The official announcement comes out in I think like 2 hours or so, but you got here first, so I might as well spoil it for you. Let me do, I don't know, how can I do this? How do I do this very coolly? Hold on, I got an idea. I got a really good idea. I got an idea for this. This is how I'm gonna spoil it for y'all. This is totally improv, so excuse me, but I got an idea. Here we go. Where are we? I need it. Okay, hold up. I've got this exactly where it is, and I need to very quickly add an image. Yeah, image is the name of the image. Okay. Not yet. Don't do it just yet. Not yet. Almost there. Where are my downloads? I know I downloaded you around here somewhere. Where the heck are you? It's worth it. It's worth it. I promise. It's totally worth it. Pizza Tower, they're saying? What? Like, you can't even talk to me and I'll do stuff. It's just to be a pre-made video. I'll be going into the chat. Oh, Ethan, you can do whatever you want to. Yeah, go ahead. Put a link in there. So long as it's not pornography. No pornography. None of that stuff. Where's this image? All right, I'm just going to pull up the thumbnail. It's half done. So I'm just going to do this instead because I've kept y'all waiting long enough. Oh, that's not even the one that I wanted. That's not even the one that I wanted. That's okay. That's the one that you're getting. Oh, do the music. Do the music. Do the music. Wait, where is it? Where is it? Where's the music? Oh, I have to click play. I have to click the fucking music. Yo. Wow, that was so poorly executed. Was that poorly executed or what? Let me tell you. Yeah, this is a very badly made thumbnail, but that's what's next. That's what's next. It's Kingdom Hearts. We're doing Kingdom Hearts. That's what we're doing. That's the game. We're playing Kingdom Hearts 1, but I bought this on Steam the other day, so we're good. This is not the right song, actually, now that I think about it. We're Simple and Clean. Let's bop along to this for a little bit. Where are you? Hikaru, please, give us your voice. Oh, that's it. That's it. I'll get this thumbnail out of here. I don't want this image anymore. Get out of here. The way that you're making me feel tonight, it's hard to let it go. Anyway, that's all we get because we're doing Zelda stuff tonight. That's all we get for now. Back to the XbarwithanX's Zelda playlist. Okay, everybody, calm down for a second. 80 saying, "Yo, everybody's so excited! I've never played that game in my life, honestly. So like, I've played it. I technically watched Anna play it, but I've never actually played it myself. Anyways, I saw Ethan. Ethan, I'm trying to make sure I get what your message was. That permission to put the link to my most popular video. I saw 2 people who want to watch it. Go ahead and, yeah, if you want to. I'll say too, I remember you saying last time that you don't have a self-promote, that you don't have a Discord, so you're feel free to put it wherever you got. Feel free to check it out if you'd like to. This is going to be really cool. This is going to be cool. That's the link. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. We're going to get things started around here. So to just quickly recap, what we did last week, exactly 7 days ago, was create a number of different infusions for each of the 7 sages in The Legend of Zelda, The Legend of Zelda, The Ocarina of Time. In particular, every single sage got an infusion that was just kind of an idea of something related to a color, something related to their particular element and whatnot. I'll try to give a little bit of details as I go through these, but starting off with the Sage of Light, the Sage Rauru, who I believe takes the form of an owl in most of the game, and I don't know if it's ever explicitly stated that way. For Rauru's Spritz, it's kind of a pina colada-esque. We took some white rum and we put into it some pineapple slices as well as some coconut oil, which when heated up to temperature and completely melted, you can shake it around a bunch and fat wash your spirit, which imparts a particular texture upon it, as well as some of the flavors of whatever was inside of that oil. In this case, it's coconut oil. So let's first off give our Sage of Light infusion a taste to see how this exactly turned out. Spoiler alert, I kind of tasted these all already to make the recipes, but it's almost like it's the first time. But this is our Sage of Light, our Infusion of Light, if you will. It's got a very, very light color to it. It's like, you could vaguely call it yellow. It's yellowish. It's light. It's light on color. Light like the sage. It smells like coconut-ish. Coconut-ish. It mostly smells of rum, but it's a very, very light rum. Very laid-back rum. Not too forward on flavor. On smell, I mean. And when you taste it, it's got a nice sweetness to it. It's lightly tart. It tastes like rum, don't get me wrong. But it's got a pineapple-y tartness to it with a texture that's a little... It's smooth. Like, if anybody's used like chapstick before, or like Aquaphor, or like petroleum jelly on your lips, imagine that feeling on your tongue. I would not recommend putting chapstick on your tongue. But if you ever did, I've done it, so take my word for it. It's kind of like that. It's a little bit like that. Ethan says, hey, what is the name of the long ways video? I don't know what you mean. Please, I don't want you to miss out on the live stream because it's a fairly long video, so watch it after the video. I don't want to interrupt. Unless you commented on a video, I don't really have a way to make sure that I see it because the live stream stuff goes past there. That's the last I'm going to acknowledge that. Anyways, this is going to be great. Chapstick. I used to eat chapstick as a kid. What flavor? Because mine was, what was my favorite chapstick flavor? It was the cherry one. There's no way around it, right? There's no way around it. It was the cherry one. So that's what's going in our Spritz. That's what's going to go into Spritz number 1 at least. I'm going to try to make sure that I taste all these things. If I forget to give you tasting notes on the infusion, please let me know, because I'm just doomed to forget. So for this one, we're going to garnish it with a pineapple slice. I don't have a full pineapple for this one because I didn't plan on using all of it. So in the effort of trying to conserve the type of waste that we produce around here, I got a couple of pineapple slices. I'll grab that from our refrigerator. Bring that up on here. And all I'm going to do is just very lightly take one of these. I just put a little slit in it. I'm going to get it prepared ahead of time because, honestly, just makes things quicker for all of us. That is a thick slice. I want a small slice. Small slice. We're going to wind up perching this upon our glass. So actually, let's just do that first, right? I'm going to take this, do a little right down the side, right through, and just pop this on the side of our glass. That's honestly all we need there. And the bartender's going to grab himself a snack. There we go. Add some Dr. Pepper chapstick and slowly eat the whole thing like a freak. No, functional. Not a freak. Explorative. Anybody who calls you a freak ain't a friend of mine. If they meant it, that is. If they meant it that way. Okay. Let's put that knife back where it came from. Or so help me. Ethan says, I'm not allowed to show my face yet because I'm a kid. No, I get it, dude. Don't feel pressured to do anything. Here's a quick suggestion. Do you want to know it? How do I find sideways video? How do you find it? Shorts feed. Shorts feed on YouTube. We're going to fill, for every single one of these, we're going to fill our glass with ice all the way to the top. Everything gets built over top with a little bit of a stir, and it's great. So, I have a giant ice bag for this. I just made a shit ton of ice, and I'm going into the ice bag, and I'm going for it. Here's 2. Here's 3. I don't know. Let's do 4 seems good, right? Yeah, 4 ice cubes. We're basically filling it all up. Filling it all the way up. For this one, it's actually very simple. It's all in equal parts. We're gonna start off with 2 ounces or 59 milliliters of our light infusion. I had to get myself a measuring majigger around here. And it's all in equal parts. It makes it very easy. Oh, actually, hold up. Where's the cocktail angle? Hold up. I'm gonna see this shit up close. It looks even cooler. It's so dank. It's the dankest drink you've ever seen. No, it's not really dank. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Tests is functional on YouTube. You got it. Cool. YouTube isn't eating my chats today. Well, that's exciting. It's eating all my chats, though. But I'm not saying anything. So maybe it's not actually eating my chats. 2 ounces of your Sage of Light infusion, which is white rum washed with coconut oil as well as some pineapple slices. Technically, that part isn't the wash part. It's the other parts of it, but, you know, who's really counting? Cocktail angle looking a little wonky. Oh, don't do that. Thank you. Emmy E, welcome in. Hello there. Now we're gonna add 2 ounces of coconut water, which is also in my fridge. There's plenty of this stuff. Did you know that you can just drink coconut water just because? Like, you don't need to add anything to it. It's just fine on its own. Some of it a little better than others, might I add. 2 ounces of coconut water. We're trying to accent the coconut with coconut water, the coconut oil with coconut. We're trying to access the pineapple flavor with the pineapple garnish. And then what's left of that? Next, we just gotta add, it's technically 2 ounces of soda water, but you can just top the thing with soda water depending on how much that you want to go with there. So I got soda water, and I'll be using the same thing as soda water the whole stream, so I'm just gonna free pour it. Let's free pour it. We free pour these top ingredients. So like to the top, or about 2 ounces of soda water. And that's gonna be just fine. I see. Ethan saying, I mean, heals the suggestion. After reading like a couple of the comments, check back to make sure that there aren't any new ones. It's really odd. Checked it multiple times. I went down and there was somebody getting angry because everyone was typing noob. LOL. That's in the comments section? It's in the live stream section? We have such an active chat, ladies, gentlemen, and those in between. It's an honor. It's an absolute honor. So now that we've got this all in our container, if you want to give it a stir around, it's probably a good idea. Just agitate it a little bit. Just make sure that all those ingredients are together. Try not to knock your garnish off. But if you do, you can just get another one. There we go. That's pretty good. Pop that back on where it's supposed to be. Ooh! Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one, too. Oh, and Emmy, I didn't acknowledge you said that Maddie and Brendan are there, too. Hello! One of those people is family. I mean, technically, everybody's family. When you're here, you're family. Wasn't that like Papa John's or something? Probably not. Anyways. So these are all very simple drinks to make. We're already done with it. We're not even at the 15, 20-ish minute mark, so this is actually incredible. This is our Spritz of Light Spritz, very light on color, garnished with a pineapple, inspired by The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. This is one of 7 drinks that we'll be pursuing this evening, and this is the first one. Let's go for it. It was very efficient. These are very easy drinks, extremely easy.
Is that the one that tastes like water?
I don't know.
The flavored water?
Some of them can taste like water depending on your alcohol tolerance. This one is very light on flavor. You could say it tastes just like amplified water a little bit, but I'm getting notes of pineapple because there's that slight tartness of pineapple from the infused rum over here, and it's honestly exactly that. It's refreshing. It's got a coconut note that is a little more pronounced now with the addition of the coconut water. It's a simple and refreshing drink that honestly just kind of tastes like a smoother, slightly tart coconut water. And it's very pleasant. It's also nice and cold too. You can already see the sides of the glass like getting all nice and chilled. They're all like this. I imagine sitting atop a lighthouse, sipping on this one, with the briny wind blowing in from the shore because it's the Spritz of Light. That makes sense. There's actually some condensation collecting on my little wax seals that I got on these. I'm actually really surprised that they haven't come off yet, because I feel like physics would have something to say about that. I see Ethan saying, can you take it off the weird cam thingy? Actually, everyone in chat vote because it's getting annoying. That's the cocktail angle. That's so you can see things up close. If you have actionable criticism, I will act upon that. But just saying you don't like it is not really something I can work with. E says, hello, hi there. I feel like I'm in class and he's teaching me how the drink should taste. It should taste like pineapple-ish, but if it ain't, then, you know, taste buds are different. That's what you got there. That's very light too. I think there is not, it's not very boozy. Like, I don't think when I was taste testing any of these, they had like a powerful booze note to them, except for the Spritz of Fire. The Spritz of Fire might have been the one there.
Was that the gin one?
A multiple of them are gin. The Forest one is gin, and the Shadow one is also gin.
It's the one all the way on side one.
That's, I can't think of which one you're talking about.
Visualize it?
I mean,
can't remember the color.
I don't know what context you're referring to.
Yesterday? When you
That didn't happen yesterday.
What?
That didn't happen yesterday. Nothing was infused yet.
Oh.
Nothing was infused yet. Anyways, so Anna's trying to remember, like, as I was in like preparing for things, whether or not things was happen. I don't know. Anyways. But so that's our Spritz of Light, and we're moving on from that. That's 1 spritz down, and 6 more to go. We're gonna move on to the next cocktail. Oh, Jay Novice and Amy Chow saying it was Olive Garden when you're here, your family. That's hilarious. I completely forgot.
Olive Garden sasses me.
Indeed.
I had one bad experience, let's be honest.
Also, Ethan, I'm just gonna call out now that your chats are getting very, very large, and it's very difficult for me to keep track of all of them. If you can keep them a little shorter, I will respond to you. Then anything longer than a paragraph, I'm gonna safely ignore for the sake of the show. So I appreciate it. Anyways, let's move on. Because we're done with this sage, we might as well move on to another one. Next! Got the Spritz of Forest for Saria and Kokiri Forest. I found out that, I mean, I was under the impression for a long, long time that Link was Kokiri, but Kokiri don't get older. They never age. They're like young and immortal forever. And that's why he can age, because he's not actually a Kokiri. He's Hylian, not Hylian. I've made that joke already before. But so, Saria's Infusion of the Forest was created with the forest in mind. And I'm trying to remember where it is. Where did I put that damn thing? Oh, there we go. This is the only one whose color does not necessarily match the insignia that goes on the glass. Because as it turns out, if you take thyme branches and leaves, unless you do some really, really awesome techniques, you don't exactly preserve that nice green color. You can use something, a technique called sous vide, which I believe will allow you to keep those really, really nice colors, especially for leafy greens like mint and basil. I actually don't know how to use my sous vide machine yet, but we will eventually figure that out, and hopefully it'll be even greener when we are a little bit better the next time. Functional says, I haven't been to Olive Garden in a while, but next time I go, I'm gonna do the meme. Like, am I family here now? And they're gonna look at you and like, sir, would you like the breadsticks or not? Cause if you want them, just tell us. We'll give you as many as you want. Oh, let me get a coaster for this guy. Just realized. Rauru getting all, can we see that if we put it in front of Pikachu? Yeah? Oh, there we go. We can even see the, yeah! There we go, there we go. Long time, is that what's playing? I read that too late. In any case, question for science, asks Amy Chow. If I wanted to get kicked out of Olive Garden, how should I do it? I would think centrally eat a breadstick, staring one of the waiters or waitresses directly in their eyes.
Wouldn't that be considered...
That might be sexual harassment for all I know. That would certainly get you kicked out though, and potentially like on a list somewhere, so do it as you may. But so the Sage Spritz, the Spritz... There are so many S words. 7 Sage Spritzes swiftly in time for summer. Yeah, that's what I'm going with there. So this one was a combination of gin, thyme, like the herb, and some lime zest. And what you're also need in addition to this is some sage simple syrup. Like that. By sage simple syrup, I don't in fact mean sage like the 7 sages. I mean sage like the actual botanical. And that's this guy right here. Let's give this a little taste. I actually gotta go down into my special glassware because I have a number of these. There we go. I'm gonna put that in a place where I hopefully won't step on them. There we go, I'll put it over there. I got more Glencairn glasses. I just like sipping out of these things. They're absolutely wonderful. Let's taste how this Infusion of Forest came out. It's got a mossy green color to it. I feel like it's a little more yellow than it is green. It kind of looks chartreusey, so it could be the chartreuse. It's like oddly lime forward. Get out of here. Out of here. It's like oddly lime forward. If you've ever had TD Bank used to give out, or maybe they still give out, those like green lollipops that I swear were lime, but I never had any confirmation. This tastes exactly like one of those green lollipops, albeit significantly less sweet and a lot more herb forward. But that's exactly the notes that I'm getting there. And it kind of smells like it too. It smells like those lollipops if you let them sit in your car the whole time. It's absolutely wild. They're very enticing too. E says that you could just keep ordering breadsticks. That's fair, you could try that too. Ethan saying you're back in the chat, Play Animation Studios, you're back in the trap. I like how every one of their shirts has an E in their name. Start the short mode on there. As in tradition, you get record. Oh, that was functional. Oh my goodness. As in the tradition, you gotta record yourself getting kicked out and upload it for those sweet, sweet internet points. Dude, could you imagine like taped sexual harassment? If we're talking about the breadstick thing, I mean. And I'm not exactly sure what kind of harassment that is. It could just be the way you eat breadsticks. Maybe just use a banana instead and you'll get bonus points. I see Disney Queen saying only if you get breadsticks for like 2 to 3 an hour. I feel like you would just be questioned. Or just like stuff them in your pants. It's endless breadsticks, you know? Endless breadsticks. In any case, that's hilarious. Let's build our Spritz of Forest. Let's see if I got the, did I got the cocktail angle like right on mark? Yeah! I got it right on mark. I'm gonna try to get that a little bit closer for the folks over in the vertical chat. There we go. There we go. Yeah, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. Yeah. If you're in the vertical chat and you're getting nauseous, I am so sorry. I cannot fix this for you. Actually, I have a sizable amount of this infusion in here, so I'm just gonna keep with this. So let's prepare a garnish for this guy. This one gets a garnish of a lime wheel. So I'm gonna quite simply, I'll go back to the other angle for a second because that one just isn't helping us. I grab a lime. I'm just gonna give it a cut. Very easy. Very easy cuts. Very easy cuts for very easy limes. Limes, limes, limes all the time. Don't put the sticker on your lime because that would be sad. Very sad lime.
Breadsticks now? I'm sorry.
You want breadsticks now?
Yeah.
I don't have breadsticks.
Well, we don't have bread here.
I don't have breadsticks now, dear. I can't give you breadsticks.
I'm deciding whether or not it's worth it to go to the store for breadsticks.
Go to the store for breadsticks. Nobody's stopping you. Actually, I think I would enable you. I think everybody else would do the same. Go get breadsticks.
Chat, should I get breadsticks?
Yes, get breadsticks.
No, I have to.
Ask your loving husband.
I'm not listening.
Your loving husband wants breadsticks as well, so I think you should go get breadsticks. Personally.
Okay, I'm convinced. I'm gonna put on a jacket.
Go for it. You gotta go for it. Time for a lime. Don't get lime slime. That's a crime. That was an excellent array of rhymes there, Ethan. I'm just gonna take a little slice down the side, right through the rind. These knives are not very good. Just gonna pop that on the side. There we go. The garnish has been prepared. Now we proceed. We will need that cutting board again later. And that kidney fay. So we'll go back to it. Fill a glass with ice. And we'll prepare our ingredients, which I think we already have, to be honest. This one gets a bunch of ice cubes. Here we go. Woo! I dropped one of my strainers. There we go. Couple of ice cubes to your glass. Oddly enough, I must have been using smaller ice cubes when I was testing this out because they used to fit 5. And now they don't. Which is unfortunate, because I wanted more in there. I had to pick up my strainer too, because I missed it. I see Glorfenstein saying, not sure if it's new, but I like the new chats at the bottom side of the screen. Yeah, it's relative. I think I've been doing that for a hot minute now, but I think it's a little bit cleaner. I like chat to have their own little space, because otherwise I can get my face in chat and like slobber all over it, and I think it's mildly disgusting. But that's just my opinion. Let's grab another measure and majigger, and we're gonna add 2 ounces of our Sage of Forest infusion. I'm gonna need to go back into my bottle, because I don't have enough in my Glencairn glass, which is now dirty! So I'll put it off to the side. I'm trying to pour and also read chat at the same time, and I just realized how difficult that can be. 2 ounces of sage. Oh, I'm getting my words mixed up. 2 ounces of forest infusion. It's like 59 milliliters for our friends across the pond. There we go. Now I'll read chat. Do it. Yeah, go to the breadsticks. Ethan says, play up to be my decision. It's supposed to be hard decision. I read that. I read that as musical notes because it just felt appropriate. Don't worry, Sysfunctional. Don't worry, Ethan. You can take credit for my rhymes. Oh, is everybody reusing their rhymes? Dude, the best things are things copied from other people and done like a little bit different. That's just how art flourishes. Next, we're gonna add a little bit of our Sage Simple Syrup, which was made with 2 parts by weight sugar to water with a bit of sage leaves inside of it. We need half an ounce, about 15 milliliters or so. Half an ounce of Sage Simple Syrup. Pour that all the way inside. Are you going for breadsticks, love?
Yes.
Peace out. Be safe out there.
I will.
Don't let the breadsticks bite you. And if they do, I guess you're coming back a little bit bitten. Don't worry. I'll get revenge on those breadsticks. And it'll be just fine. And then, we need to top it off with some Prosecco. This is the first of the Spritzes so far that utilizes an alcoholic carbonated substance. We opted for Prosecco in this one. Let's see if it makes a funny sound when I open it up, right? Right to the microphone. Oh. Nah, that wasn't very satisfying, all things considered. The sound of, like, ripping the stuff off of the container, though, is pretty satisfying. Get out of there. I think see Ethan saying it's time for me to go to bed and watch one episode. Bully, are you kidding me? I guess I can have a nice nap. I guess I can just be one more time with you because I need to eat a hot pot with the weather because I'm getting hungry. I have 2 minutes and however long it takes me to eat a Pop-Tart. Dude, thank you for popping in. Thank you very much for popping in, actually. And I'm curious of what Pop-Tart flavor that you're eating, because I do like Pop-Tarts and I'm very curious. You don't have to share if you don't want to, but you're making me hungry. Not only because of the mentions of breadsticks, but also because of the mention of Pop-Tarts, which are one of my favorite pastries of all time. Now, as I mentioned before, you could measure out 2 or 3 ounces of your Prosecco. Honestly, depending on the glass you're using, just fill it up to the top. So let's fill to the top with Prosecco. Nice and bubbly, just the way I like it. It's great. We're gonna keep some of that Prosecco for later. We'll be coming back to it. And now, get a little bar spoon, agitate it ever so slightly, preserve your garnish. In this one in particular, you wanna make sure that you get everything constituted because there is some syrup in there that is rather thick. There we go. Nice. Okie doke. This is our Spritz of Forest Infusion. I think it looks pretty cool. I will say, the insignia that is on here is a little odd, but this is the original Forest medallion from Ocarina of Time, especially in the ROM that I was playing. Apparently, they reduced it from 4 spikes down to 3 spikes, and I can kind of see why. Let's go for it. It smells very much like the Garnish, but the Spritz of Forest Infusion actually smelled a bit like lime anyways, so it's a little accented now. Let's go for it. Ooh. Oh, it's bubbly. Ah, it's bubbly. Notes of citrus, like a creamy citrus. Like if you could take sour cream and mix it with you know what? No, now I've got it now. It's like the sour cream, it's like a mixture of sour cream and lime juice on a fresh taco, like a freshly fried tortilla shell, minus any of the tortilla shell. This does not taste like tortilla whatsoever. It's just like a creamy lime, like key lime pie. Although I don't really like key lime pie, but it's what I imagine key lime pie would taste like if I liked key lime pie, albeit significantly less sour, more forward on just like sweet lime tart. Not sour though. It's not sour. It's not sour at all. It's very refreshing. It's super bubbly. I freaking love it. Glorfenson says, anybody remember the blueberry muffin Pop-Tarts? I missed those. You know what? I'm getting mixed up with the blueberry Pop-Tarts. If there was blueberry muffin specific Pop-Tarts, I've never had them before. But there was a friend of mine in high school who went on a journey to try every single Pop-Tart flavor, and I don't know if she ever managed to do it, because they kept coming out with more. My personal journey was Skittles flavors, and I don't think I really made it through that either. 80 saying, is this subtle for a car? Is this suitable for a car? A car? Yeah. Wait, you mean the drink? No, do not drink and drive. This is not suitable for a car. Is the stream suitable for a car? Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, if you have a family, for example, in the back seat, I sometimes use choice language because of how deep I get into these drinks sometimes, but I'll try to keep it low for a little bit. I'll try to keep it low. I see Ethan saying literally just the basic one with the little stick. Oh, really? Just that one? I mean, hey, everyone's got their preferences. I take that. My Papa's Papa's ready to be eaten. I'm thirsty. Go for it, dude. Honestly, pair this. If there was a key lime Pop-Tart, pair this with a key lime Pop-Tart. It's so tasty. I love these. I love this so good. I love this so good. And for anybody who might think that, like, whenever I make these recipes, I'm like, oh, the recipes are so good, they're so tasty, that I'm tooting my own horn. I can be kind of formulaic about these sometimes. For these Spritzes in particular, when I was testing things out, it was quite literally a flavor pairing that I either came up with or did a little bit of research on, and I was like, I have soda water, I have Prosecco, and I have champagne, and I'm trying it with all of them, and I'm gonna see which one works the best. And this is kind of what I was doing there. And this is where we ended up. So I did do a little bit of little bit of taste testing, as best as I could. We only had a certain amount of infusion, and I didn't want to use all of it. So let's put that guy right off to the side and do a little bit of cleanup before we move on to the next spritz of the evening. I see Jay Novice saying, I dipped my Pop-Tarts in ranch. Yep, which Pop-Tart specifically? Which Pop-Tart, I have to ask, which Pop-Tart specifically tastes good with ranch? Because that is a combination that I am, like, strangely curious to try. You've not failed me with combinations before, Jay Novice. I trust you on this one. I trust you. I might be opening myself up to some really, really weird combos here, but I am the kind of person who will try anything at least once. Anyways, let's move on to the next one. The next one we got is the Sage of Fire! The Sage of Fire! This one's hot. It can be a little bit hot, and we like that. We like that indeed. Glorfenstein says, yogurt Skittles, they are very good. The dessert Skittles were my favorite. You ever had the opposite problem, where you make one good in theory, but in practice it wasn't great? Yeah, I had, so actually, when I was workshopping the Sans cocktail, when we played Undertale, this was a cocktail that used some tomato water in combination with specifically soju, which is a rice-based distillate, and a couple other things as well. Every single place that I look, when you say, I want a cocktail that uses tomato water in it, says mix it with gin. And I swear to you, I tried it almost a dozen times. I could not get that tomato water to work well with gin. It was terrible. It made me puke every single time. As soon as not actually puke, but as soon as I swapped out the base spirit, it was good. It was good. So that one in theory should have worked, but in practice did not. So the next one we've got here is our Sage of Fire. This is the Spritz of Fire for the Sage of Fire, Darunia, who you find in Death Mountain. Death Mountain is quite literally a volcano. And the last time we did a Death Mountain drink, we did not have anything spicy in it. So I figured I'm going to continue with my old habits and not make it spicy, but then add something spicy to it. This recipe, this infusion here is quite literally just strawberry Campari. I'm going to taste it for y'all because I've never actually made it here at the Bar with an X before. I did taste it the other day, but we're going to get the Cliff Notes versions of it. But I wanted to make it a little bit more spicy. A little bit more, like, active volcano-like. And so that's what we went for here. Let me grab a Glencairn from my glass. I have a number of them. They're in a box because I really don't do this much tasting as often. I really didn't prepare well for this, lo and behold. I see Ethan saying, in my opinion, ranch is not good on a Pop-Tart. The stuff that I find ranch good on is meat. Mostly just meat, acting like cherry Pop-Tarts. That's fair. Because I feel like cherry and meat would go pretty well together. I've never really tried that out either. I feel like it would go well. You know, you have this, like, bright red substance in the glass. You'd think cherry, but it's not cherry at all. It's a strawberry. And also bitter orange. But that's because of the ingredients that went into it. Strawberry jam and corn sounds like a good combination too. I hear that there, 80. Did you watch the drink, Cameron? Why did autocorrect? Let me reword. Cameron, did you watch the Nintendo Direct? I did watch the Nintendo Direct. I'm most pumped for the Mario and Luigi Brothership game because I really liked the Mario and Luigi series of games. I only ever played a little bit of Partners in Time, and I completely played the shit out of Bowser's Inside Story. But aside from that, I didn't do too much else with it. I want to play one of those games eventually. So this is our Sage of Fire infusion. It is quite literally just strawberry Campari. Oh. Oh, goodness, that's delightful. It's bitter with the slight tartness of strawberry. And I absolutely freaking love it. This combination of flavors is beautiful. If you've never had a strawberry Negroni or strawberry infused Campari, this is something that is incredibly easy to make. Get a bottle of Campari, slice some strawberries, put it on the inside, and then strain it out afterwards. It is so good. But I'll say that when I was straining this out, don't use a coffee filter, because the coffee filters I were using were apparently way too fine, and it took forever for this to infuse, and I almost ran out of time. But we wound up making it work. We wound up making it work indeed. Javen Novice is excited because we're finally getting Metroid, and specifically commenting on the brown sugar and soju. Brown sugar was the Pop-Tart with the ranch dressing. Sounds very exciting. That sounds very exciting indeed. Ethan says, what, keep in mind that I'm just a 9-year-old. Do you want to hear that joke that I was going to say from the very beginning of the live stream? By all means, don't feel like, Ethan, feel free to just go for it. You don't need to ask my permission to do your things. Just go for it. If there's a problem, then we'll let you know. I see Jay Nava say, oh, the Metroid, and then Glorfenstein, DK getting some love too. Donkey Kong too. I never played the original Donkey Kong Country. That one looks like it'll be fun. So let's prepare our garnish for this one ahead of time. This one is going to be a spicy red pepper, if you can get your hands on it. I could not get my hands specifically on a spicy red pepper, but I was able to get my hands on this green pepper that went orange. So that's what I'm using here. You may have thought, well, why don't you want to garnish this with a strawberry? And to you, I say, I considered it, but I really wanted a spicy pepper because when I workshopped this, it was a lot more spicy than anything else, and I feel like I'd be misleading you if I didn't garnish it with a spicy pepper. We'll pop out on the edge of the glass, and then we'll build things right on the inside. It's so simple. This is probably going to be a very quick stream, y'all, by the way. Probably very quick, because these drinks go by very, 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 very easily. Let's go for that. Functional says, have you ever played Paper Mario, the N64 or the sequel to 1000 Year Door? Functional, I did an entire playthrough of Paper Mario, the 1000 Year Door. And they got cocktail recipes too. That was around the time when I started specifically niching down to video game cocktail stuff. And that's where it started. That's where all of this stuff basically started, way yonder back. And I see Ethan saying, by the way, Dan TDN is going to hit 30 million subs. Can I watch this through the lot? Remember the joke or last time? Do it, my guy. Just go for it. And 80 says they're heading off because it's 4 a.m. Dude, the fact that you're even up for this is absolutely incredible. So I salute you in that journey. Thank you for popping in. If it wasn't obvious already, I appreciate you popping in here today. It's like oddly hot in the apartment, and I am very, very aware of the flies that keep coming in and out of the camera view. It's something that I'm really annoyed about, and we are trying as best as we can to get rid of them by bleaching every single one of our drains, which, by the way, if you are at least mildly educated in chemistry, you shouldn't be putting bleach in anything that's metal, but that's what our landlord told us to do. In writing. So that's what we're gonna do. So these flies will get the fuck out of here. In any case, so far they haven't made it into any of the drinks. If they do, I'll bite into this pepper. You can hold me to it. That is a giant ass ice cube. No way, dude. Do you have anything smaller? There we go. That is like filled to the brim. Oh my god. That is incredible. Wow. In any case, 80 says, you know, I gotta stop by and say hi to a very dedicated and nice streamer. I really appreciate that, Addy. Thank you so much for that. These kind words are the things that keep some of us content creators continuing to make content. I'm oddly determined, so I'm just gonna keep doing it anyway. You could tell me I suck at what I do and I would continue doing because I just like mixology that much and I am way too comfortable in front of a camera. So we're gonna start this off with 2 ounces of our fire infusion. I didn't pour myself enough for my sipping and savoring. Again, this is just strawberry Campari. It's nothing too fancy. All the other stuff is a little bit more intense and a less well-known combination. So, 2 ounces of our Sage of Fire infusion, aka strawberry Campari. It's got such a nice red hue to it. Then we're gonna add a ½ ounce of this red pepper simple syrup. Again, simple syrup, 2-to-1 ratio by weight of sugar to water, and we just put a bunch of red pepper flakes in it, and it turned this intense red color. This is like pitch dark, and that's what happens on its own. And it's really wild. I'll say on its own too, this is spicy on the tongue. Spicy but sweet. Spicy but sweet. That's really good. If you ever had a chamoy candy before, kind of tastes like that. Kind of tastes like that. ½ ounce of red pepper syrup. Make sure that goes to the bottom of your glass, because otherwise it's going to get caught in your ice and it's not actually going to get into the drink. We're trying to mix things here, specifically. And then finally, we're going to top it with soda water. I got some of that over here. I said Ethan saying, why did Nemo eat the shark to get revenge on the shock and glue so big that could eat stuff? By that, I mean 7 universe, and every universe multiplies it by 500 universes. It violently eats each one. And by the way, if you see message sent into 2 messages, it means I ran out of letters that I can type. That was the entire amount of air in my lungs. I feel like we heard that joke already. I think we got that one already. Repeat. But we like good jokes. We like good jokes around here. Something about touching the butt. Top this off with soda water. Or about like 3 ounces. Like 3 ounces of soda water. That's what I had when I was measuring this out, but like Aperol Spritzes, these Spritzes, they get served in a variety of glasses, and you never exactly know how much volume your glass is going to hold. So just like, you know, measure with your heart. Agitate it a little bit. Make sure the syrup is dissolved. You're gonna want it for this one. And we're gonna garnish it with a spicy pepper, because that's how volcanoes do. Volcanoes be hot, and the denizens of the volcanoes, like Darunia, our fire chief, are also very, very hot. Hot in a special kind of way. Let's give this a taste, shall we? Very, very fine on those red colors. It seems that I got a single seed of my pepper in there, which is fine. Gonna try not to poke myself in the eye with this one. Oh, it's light and refreshing. It's light and refreshing. There's like the slightest hint of spice in this, but it's nice. To me, I am very used to the flavors of Campari, so I don't have any other big description aside from it tastes like Campari, but lighter and a bit more effervescent. But to those of you who are not as Campari used, it has a bitter note that is familiar to the taste of an orange peel if you bit into it, inching a little bit more towards the bitterness of a grapefruit peel if you have bitten into one of those as well. I bit into them recently. I'm still snacking on them, actually. Candied ones specifically. This is bitter with a slight spicy kick to it that exists on my tongue. Honestly, it's numbing my tongue just enough for me to not really taste too much of the sweetness imparted by the syrup in this form. It's just got a beautiful color to it. In particular, if you really focus on the flavors, you can get a slight tartness that is akin to the strawberries that went into the Campari. Campari on its own is not very sour, is not very tart in any way that I would describe it, but this adds just enough to it where you'd think that there might be some other acidic fruit in there, which the strawberry happens to be. But it's like a touch. It's just a touch. So it's refreshing with a kick to it. And it smells like the pepper that it's garnished with. Well, I didn't think that that smell was going to be that strong. I see Glorfenstein saying, were you ever formally trained in mixology, or was it a hobby? I'd like to try my hand at it someday. Glorfenstein, I am not formally trained in mixology, like, at all. All of this is from a number of years so far. I'm a relatively young bartender. I've really only been mixing drinks for about 4 to 5 years now, and maybe a little bit longer than that, but don't tell the legal authorities that. But yeah, I've been doing this stuff I only really got serious about it within the last 2 years or so. It was kind of like a side hobby of going through like things and whatnot. But if you want to try your hand on mixology, here is the best tip that I can give anybody, and I feel like it's something no matter if you're a mixologist or bartender of many years, or whether just getting started, the best thing that you can do is just go out and try stuff, right? You can get those tiny little nips from the liquor store. You can try out spirits. You can work your way from the little mixed drinks that you get in dive bars all the way up to the drinks that are basically just infused spirits in a cold glass. I'm looking at you specifically, dry martini. But yeah, that's a good place. If you ever want advice for anything like that, I might not be the most professional source out there, but I will happily give you whatever my perspective is on it. And by the way, I'm new at this stuff too. So honestly, we'll probably be learning together. Let's grab a coaster, pop that off to the side. We're gonna put this, we're gonna try to see if we can get things all in a nice line with each other. Oh, actually, maybe I should do this the other way around. No, I'm going to do it over here because I don't have equipment over here that is prone to potentially crashing if I get it wet. So we'll put it over here, actually. And that'll be just fine. This is great. Ethan says, today was a busy day, YouTube day. I made multiple videos. I rarely eating post videos. I can't watch the West. It's time for me to go to bed. Have a good time. Thank you for popping in, Ethan. And I salute you in your journey of a busy day full of YouTube. Although it's not always full of YouTube for me. I am a content creator and spend a lot of time on it, and I completely understand where you're coming from. Disney Queen also says, and she just got back too, so the store has either 6 breadsticks or 8 garlic toast pieces, so I bought 8 garlic toast pieces. I thought you wanted my input on that.
No.
No, you got it. You got it. Would you like to showcase?
Either 40 cents per them,
Okay.
or you could spend 53 cents.
Here, come show it. I gotta do a little bit of cleanup. We're gonna move on to the next recipe after that, which is gonna be water or something.
Toast.
Texas garlic toast.
Yeah,
By the
that's
way,
good.
I don't want any of these. It's
okay,
gonna throw off my tasting for the
That's
rest
a
of the
good
stream.
point. These
I'll
are
eat them afterwards though. We're almost halfway through and we're not even at the 1 hour mark yet. This is incredible.
Eat these at 420 degrees.
Get them toasty. They wouldn't call them toasty if you didn't want them toasty, you know?
To brown both
That's what I would think.
Turn over at 5 minutes.
Here, I'm gonna scooch past you and put this syrup in the fridge. It's not weird, I promise. It's not weird, I promise.
How much of this should I eat?
All of it. I mean, you can make some for me.
Oh, that's a good point.
You can prepare some for me. I'll eat them after stream. A little after stream snack. Glorfenstein says, I've only made one drink I like. It's indigo gin, coconut rum, some creme de violet, and topped with either lemonade or Sprite. It's pretty good. That is shockingly close to a cocktail called the Aviation. That one is the Sage of Forest, the Spritz of Forest. That is lime forward, key limey. Key limey. You did not like that one when you were tasting it. The spirit, the base spirit, I mean.
Oh, that's the one!
Yeah, no, you don't like that one. No, you really don't like that one.
No.
She really doesn't
Was that
like
the
that
hot one?
This is the hot one. Yes. This is the hot one, yes.
I don't remember if I like that.
I put this bottle away. And next, we got the blue one. Where the blue one at?
Oh, my mouth!
That's the blue one. Make sure that the insignias are facing the camera, love.
I'm sorry.
No, it's good, dude.
Oh
It's
my
good.
god, I need to go bleach my mouth. The hot one hurts.
Your mileage may vary on whether or not you like these drinks or not.
The
They
hot
are
one hurts.
none of these are similar to the others. I think if anything, maybe the Spirit. Excuse me, I'm getting myself mixed up. Maybe the Spritz of Light tastes like the Spritz of Time. Maybe, but that would be a stretch, anyways. Amy Chow says, Anna.
Ciao.
There we go. Proportions, please, for your specifically your. It's quasi like an Aviation. Actually, I have a book over here. Hold up a second. If you're open to recipes, I got some for you. I got one for you. If you liked the drink that you made, I'm gonna pull a recipe out of this handcrafted illustrated cocktail book. It's got really cute pictures in it. It's freaking delightful. It's illustrated by Caroline Boyk-Purdue. There's a recipe in here for the Aviation, and this is the Aviation recipe that I used when I first got my hands on the CameroxnWithAnX's bottle of creme de violet, which is around here somewhere. Where are you, dude? Where's my creme de violet? I know you're here somewhere, dude. Well, for some reason I can't find my creme de violet right now. Wait, I have an idea. No, there it is. I was looking at the wrong location. This is the CameroxnWithAnX's bottle of creme de violet. It's Gifford brand, and this one has. There we go. This is the page for the Aviation. The Aviation here uses 1.5 ounces or 44 milliliters of gin, 1/2 ounce or 15 milliliters of fresh lemon juice, 3/4 ounce or 22 milliliters of maraschino liqueur, with which you're not familiar, is this bottle right here. Add that with 1/4 ounce or 7 milliliters of creme de violet, add a cherry for garnish, shake well, it says, and strain into a chilled coupe glass. It's similar. It's similar-ish. I don't need this book anymore, so I'm gonna put you over there. Slam dunk, dude. Slam dunking. How much longer do you think the live stream will go, says Ethan? Maybe like another hour. I'm guessing another hour and a half, maybe. Maybe. So, we'll move on to the 4th Spritz of the evening. We're actually moving very, very fast here, so that's okay. That just means we're gonna get even quicker to the stream that happens on Saturday where we're raising money for charity. And to be honest, I could use the extra time. There is so much prep work that we have to do. So much prep work. let's grab this guy. The Sage of Water infusion is quite literally vodka that's had the slices of 3 whole green apples left to sit in it without their peels, along with what became, I think, 30 Jolly Rancher candies. This is basically Jolly Rancher vodka. Blue raspberry Jolly Rancher vodka. Basically. Let's see how that tastes. And how it looks too. I just realized I'm getting vibes. Have any of y'all ever watched Doka Ryan? He's the guy who's like, I put something in vodka for a week or until something interesting happens. And that's exactly what I've done here. But it's not my whole shtick, so I'm not gonna try to copy him. I put blue raspberry Jolly Ranchers in vodka for a week. And then something interesting happened. And this is what came out. That Boja. Smells like blue raspberry. Damn it, it tastes like one too. That is so good. I just made my own blue raspberry liqueur. That is not very heavy on the booze. And if it is heavy on the booze, I can't taste it. And I don't have a refractometer or whatever you call it, hydro whatever thing, a little buoy thing. So I have no idea how much alcohol is in this. But it tastes great! It's not as sour. I don't like sour things, and I don't think it's as sour as blue raspberry Jolly Rancher is. So I think some of that green apple might have dialed back some of it a little bit. It's tasty. It's really, really good. I like that. It's good in a candy kind of way. This is not super high in alcohol, at least from what I can tell. I see Ethan saying, oh, Gloria's popping in saying, hi, if we were to put gummy bears, you can make them taste like Jolly Ranchers. If you were to put... I bet if you put green apple gummy bears in here, and let them sit, you could absolutely make them like that. Or like, do they sell unflavored jelly bears? Because if they do, then yeah, absolutely. This is a spirit just like anything else would. You can make boozy gummy bears with any of this stuff. And if you put Jello stuff in it, you can probably make a little thing for that too. It'd be great. So, let's prepare our garnish for this one. We're going to need the slices of green apple reminiscent of what went into the infusion. So let's grab a little cutting board. I'm just gonna make a couple of slices of this apple here. Nothing too fancy. Nothing too fancy. Very, very basic. I see Ethan saying, not gonna lie, I just want to entertain people. I do my best I can to entertain. No, I don't know what that is. Don't ask why I have to use it in uppercase. I'm a chatterbox. You are a chatterbox. Honestly, Ethan, if you thought you were the one who was talking too much, just imagine being in my shoes. I literally won't shut up. And nobody's told me to stop, and if they did, I wouldn't. So, you can take the advice that I give myself every day, Ethan. Just keep talking, dude. Use that beautiful voice of yours. Use that beautiful voice of yours. Honestly, I don't want too many apple slices in here, so I'm gonna kind of cut around the core. We got a couple of snacks for us. I know Anna was appreciating the green apples the other night. So, we'll just cut up a green apple. The cores, I don't know what to do with cores, so I pitched the cores. If anybody has any idea what to do with apple cores, hit me up. Trying to figure out more ways to do stuff with scraps that we have here. I see Imichow saying, could I put grape Jolly Ranchers in cheap wine? Yeah, dude. Honestly, you probably should. I actually feel like my mixologist's intuition, he says quasi-sarcastically, but also rather curiously, would want to try grape Jolly Ranchers, not necessarily in a red wine. I'd want to try that in a white wine, specifically something that's a little more sour, like a Gewürztraminer or like a, God, I'm not as good, Pinot Grigio? Pinot Grigio, I think, a little bit? Yeah, I don't really know. I'm not as knowledgeable on wines. That was a class I took in college, and I try not to talk about it too much because it makes me sound like a pretentious asshole. I see Sebastian with an X popping and saying, is blue raspberry even a fruit? No. No, it is not. It is an artificial flavor that was developed by some laboratory or something, but it is not actually a fruit. Evidently, you can closely approximate the flavor of blue raspberry by taking raspberry actual flavor and combining a little bit of malic acid with it. because when I looked at the Jolly Rancher ingredients, it said malic acid. Because I was seriously considering acid adjusting this to have malic acid in it, because green apples themselves are an excellent source of malic acid, and if you put that inside of things, it tends to give it a more green apple-like taste, but the Jolly Rancher container said it uses malic acid anyway. So I was like, okay then. So I only want 3 of these slices. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the slices that I have and put them in a container. Is this the container I'm looking for? Yeah, that'll work. I'm gonna put these in a container because I'll just eat them later. Or just I'll eat them during the stream. If I remember that they're here. There we go. Now we got green apples for later. Excellent. Green apples for a snack. Put that off to the side, so don't forget about it. There we go. And we got these ones for garnish. Cool. Let's get on with it. I see Glorious saying, did you search up longans? I didn't specifically do much research on them, but I am aware that they are a type of... I was gonna say botanical, but technically isn't everything that grows out there a botanical? It's a thing you can put in your mouth relatively safely. But I didn't do much deeper research than that, unfortunately. What were we talking about was longans? Oh, lychee. Oh. If we were talking about lychees and longans, I think I found another longan by accident, and if you wait until the end, I will share with you exactly what it is, or you can spoil it for yourself by looking in the description of the YouTube video right now. Shh, you didn't hear from me, or it's actually in the Discord too, so whatever, anyways. I see Ethan saying, same. I just want to close my mouth unless you tell me to. You want to close your mouth unless you tell me to? Otherwise? Ethan, please keep talking. Please keep talking. Don't let anybody silence you. Use that voice of yours. Use that voice of yours to bring something beautiful into the world, like song or a cocktail, I guess. Oh, cocktail angle. Here we go. There we go. Hello. Why are you all look so cockeyed now? I think this glass is cockeyed. Some of these glasses, these were a recent gift from one of the friends of the bar with an X. And we got so many of them, I was like, I have to use these. And one of them, quite literally, actually, it's this one. I'm just gonna show it off to you right now. This is warped. This is a warped glass. I don't know if you can tell very well from here, but this is it sitting on its own. That's not normal contouring. It's weird. Anyway, we'll get to that one. That's for the Spritz of Time. The Spritz of Time for Zelda specifically. Anyways, so what we're gonna do is we're going to take our green apple slices and we're gonna put them into the drink first and kind of allow that to sit wedged between our ice cubes, if you can fit them. Doesn't need to be too much in there. Now we're gonna add 2 ounces of our Sage of Water infusion, which is basically blue raspberry vodka that we made here on our own at the bar with an X. 2 ounces of our Sage of Water infusion. And then we're gonna top it with champagne. Why are we topping it with champagne in this case? Well, I could lie to you and say that I tested out soda water, I tested out grape juice, and I tested out champagne and Prosecco, and I settled upon the champagne purely on taste, but I would be lying to you, actually. I chose this one because, and you're gonna see the break in my logic eventually because there are 2 princesses. This Sage of Water is Princess Ruto, and I figured what more appropriate bubbly beverage to use for a princess than champagne, of all things. No, we do not use champagne for Zelda. That was when the illusion broke. Anyways. You could add about 3 ounces of champagne if you are trying to measure this out. That's about 88 milliliters. But if you're like me and just measure with your heart, top it off with champagne. Nice and bubbly. Nice and bubbly indeed. I see Ethan saying it has the same effect as a black hole, kinda. That everything that you put inside of it just dissolves, especially if you're using Jolly Ranchers. I assume we're talking about the spirits here. Now, take your little mixing glass, give it a stir. Your apples might make it a little bit difficult to do so, but once you wedge it in there, it'll be all right. Excuse me. I'm not going to use that spoon anymore. Tastes like the red pepper infusion. Wow. That was intense. That was very intense. This is our Spritz of Water for the Sage of Water, Princess Ruto from Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It smells like champagne. Does not smell like blue raspberry. Oddly enough, does not smell like the garnish of green apple slices that we put inside of it. It smells like champagne. Oh, it's so delightful. Let's give it a taste. Yeah. I don't know if somebody out there smarter than I has ever put together the combination of blue raspberry and champagne, but if it hasn't been done, it needs to be done because it is so good. It is so nice. It's like bubbly, slightly creamy. It's got a potent citrus note to it, despite the fact that there's no citrus inside of this. There's no citrus to be spoken of. And it's very, very tasty. And it's powerful on blue raspberry. I don't really know how else to describe the flavor of blue raspberry, aside from it being, like, in some cases, less sour than an actual raspberry, but somewhere in between green apple and that raspberry. And it's sometimes sour, and it's sometimes not sour. The Jolly Ranchers that we use for this infusion are not very sour, so this does not have a potent sourness to it. It's got a potent, like, tartness to it, because that's just the flavor of blue raspberry in general, but aside from that, it is like an enhanced blue raspberry with flavors of citrus and otherwise. And I don't mean citrus like citric acid, not like lemon juice. It's citrus like a hint of orange juice, maybe a little bit of, like, even a little bit pineapple-y, in a way. I would say this is a little bit pineapple-y. And, especially on those notes of green apple, they're getting a little bit lost. The combination of blue raspberry and green apple just kind of meld together a little bit too well, so I can't really piece out those flavors. But it's bubbly, it's citrusy, it's blue raspberry-y, and I'm happy. And I assume Princess Ruto would be as well. I'll also note, this particular champagne, which is Cook's brand Brut champagne, it's the cheap stuff, I went with it, has some, like, subtle notes of pear as well. And it might be kind of pear-like too. Yeah, I'd say there's a little bit of pear in there. That's delicious. It's a very, very good one. I see Blair Francis popping in saying, hi there. Hey, Blair. Welcome in. We're on cocktail number 4 this evening. The Sage of Spritz. The Spritz of Water. We've had the Spritz of Light so far. We've had the Spritz of Forest, and we've had the Spritz of Fire so far. We have remaining the Spritz of Shadow, the Spritz of Spirit, and the Spritz of Time as we make our way through the ultimate end of our Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time playthrough, and this has been great. I see Ethan popping in saying, my Roblox character is almost just a bacon, like it has sunglasses to indicate if I'm recording, that's it. Dude, the coolest type of bacon is like bacon with sunglasses on, which is, I feel like, the vibe that you're giving off here. In any case, let's put our water infusion away, and we'll move on to the next one. The next cocktail that we've got is that one. It's the Spritz of Shadow. So moving on through our medallions that we get throughout Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, I'm also doing these in the order that I found them in the game. This is not like any official order or anything like that. It's just what I'm going with. This one's an interesting one. So strap in. Because if you thought red pepper syrup was kind of out there, this one is even more so. Because it's just got peppercorns in it, and it is intense. Very, very intense. These drinks are looking beautiful so far, my goodness. Ethan says, how many were there again? 7! There are 7 sages. There is only 6 medallions, but there is 1 extra sage, and that's Princess Zelda, the Sage of Time, I believe. And so she's got a drink as well. Blair says, this is the second stream of yours that I'm in. Indeed, I feel like I definitely remember your username popping in here earlier, as well as the little bee that makes up your logo, your profile picture. Welcome back. What was the last time? Was it a Legend of Zelda stream, or were we doing drinks? Because this one's all drinks. And then we'll get back to gaming on Saturday and also Monday. Let's grab our infusion. We have here our Shadow Infusion. Our Infusion of Shadow. The Infusion of Shadow was done by combining gin with rosemary and black pepper. And this one does have a little bit of history behind it, or a little bit of lore behind it. Evidently, I was really looking for a way to get a really dark color in a drink. And the previous ways that we've accomplished that here at the Bar with an X is using activated charcoal, but activated charcoal can get a little bit weird. It's a very good material for sticking to other things, and if you consume too much activated charcoal, you can actually throw off medications and stuff like that. So I used it in a drink once, and I try to stay away from it unless I really need it for something, or for a particular like garnish or flair, like for example making colored black sugar, for example. But I wanted to try to get something even more dark. So I tried peppercorn, and it wound up infusing perfectly. And we used a bit of rosemary as well. For those of you who don't know, rosemary is considered the herb of remembrance in some cultures. And so because there is a grotto of remembrance in Kakariko Village, in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and also because the Shadow Temple is very close to Kakariko Village, it felt very appropriate to use the Herb of Remembrance in remembrance of the Grotto of Remembrance, in honor of my remembrance of when I played The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. So rosemary gets a place here, peppercorn gets a place here, gin gets a place here, and so do a bunch of other things. And that's all I've got to say about that one before we actually make this. The garnish for this one is very easy. My rosemary is around here somewhere. I think it's over in the fridge. Let me see about that. Yes, it is. Your garnish for this is going to be rosemary. I do not have fresh rosemary, unfortunately, here in our little studio, but I've got this, so I got it from the store. It's as fresh can be over here. I see Blair saying it was Zelda. Zelda was the game that you here for last. That's excellent. Well, we do a couple different things around here. If you're interested in cocktail recipes, this is the stream for you. If not, well, we'll be back again another time. Functional says, I love Zelda. Zelda's my favorite. Ethan saying, I even just named it Cool Bacon. How often do you do live streams? Twice a week, Ethan. We got Mondays and Wednesdays at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. I think I've been on that schedule for almost a year or so now, with some changes in between as I kind of got my life together. But the life is going pretty good right now. It's going very good. I would say so. So we're going to prepare our glass by adding a couple of ice cubes to this and weaving a piece of rosemary in between such that it kind of snakes its way out of the glass. I'll turn the cocktail angle over so I can show you exactly what I mean here. There you go. Let's grab a few ice cubes. Got a big old bag of ice over here to help me out. Let's add 1. Let's add 2. I'll perch our rosemary in here. I want the tip of this to be snaking outwards, and then I'll put a couple of ice cubes on top of it. If I were in a busy bar, I would prepare these glasses ahead of time and keep them chilled. Oftentimes what you'll see us do here at the Bar with an X is we'll have glasses chilling in our freezer beforehand, and the reason we do that is because of the way that thermodynamics works with cocktails. Oftentimes you want them to be served very cold. And so if you take a cold liquid that you've stirred or shaken and put it into a warm glass, the equilibrium temperature of the drink is not going to be super duper cold. So you want to chill your glass. I don't have to do that here because I'm filling my glass with ice ahead of time, which while I'm building the cocktail is going to chill the glass up with it, causing a smaller temperature differential, making for a much cooler drink, both in style and in temperature. I see Ethan saying 8 o'clock is my bedtime. I guess you're doing it early. No, we started at 8 o'clock. I started about an hour ago. So unless you mean 8 o'clock p.m. your time zone appears to be different than mine. So it's going to be a little bit different. My time zone is Eastern Standard Time. If you have your time zone and feel comfortable sharing it, I'm not asking you to do so. We can do a little bit of a conversion right here just so everybody knows. So this one is going to get, instead of 2 ounces like our other infusions, is only going to get 1 because the flavor of this is very potent. A flavor that I will reveal to you right now, because I just remembered I'm supposed to be doing that. So let's pop back over here for a second. This is our Infusion of Shadow. And it is, I don't know if you can tell in the light, it is a dark brown color. Let me try to get a little light up here. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's kind of brown. It's kind of brown with a little bit of orange. In any case, good stuff. Oh, can we turn the light off, please? Thank you, phone. Appreciate that. Put that back in the bartender's pocket. Thank you very much. Oh, it smells like peppercorn. It smells like pepper, but not super much. Not yet. It's not like pepper like making me want to sneeze just yet. That's the particulates that do that. I see Blair saying, monkey. Oh, now I remember. That was the Forest Temple. Oh, I remember that. No monkeys to be consumed here, unfortunately. Just peppercorns. But, like, they could just be unicorns. Peppercorn. Oh my gosh. If you've ever gotten pepper up your nose, it's like that, but it's in your mouth instead. It's spicy. It is very, very spicy. But not like spicy pepper, where the spice is in the back of my mouth. This spice is in my mouth. It's on my tongue. It's all around my mouth. It's delightful. You could get a very similar experience by taking a peppercorn inside of your pepper grinder and just munching on it with your teeth. Would I recommend it? No. But it's an option, as it always is. This is very forward on those peppercorn notes. As the flavor fades, though, there is an air that is like a spicy rosemary of sorts, blending with, I think, some other spices in there as well, because this was the base of, I think it was just a London Dry gin. Those ginny notes are kind of hard to tell now because of the effect the pepper has had on my tongue. And I'm actually getting a little hot under the collar because of that. That was intense. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, I'm totally okay. I'm totally okay there. I'll be just fine. This is not the first time I've tasted this. I've been tasting these infusions for the last 7 days, at least once a day, just to see how the flavors are going and make sure nothing odd is happening. And the reason I do that is because some of these infusions had fruit inside of them. Fruit has sugar. Sugar is something that various different yeasts and various different molds and bacteria really, really like. So I would go back into these, especially the one with the pineapple in it, the light, strawberry in it, the fire. What else we had? Oh, Time, which had the lychee in it, as well as the dragon fruit. I went back and I tasted them to make sure that there weren't any off flavors developing. If they had off flavors developing, I was going to cut the infusion short and strain it out to make sure that it doesn't get worse. Because on the bright hand side, you might have a little bit of fermentation going on, which probably isn't going to happen because we were infusing with spirits. But if you had any sort of mold buildup or anything else, I wanted to stop that so that I don't put any, like, you know, bad bacteria and stuff in my body that could, like, get me or the other people who I share my drinks with killed. That's a no-no. That's a big, big no-no. In any case, let's pop over to the cocktail angle. I've been talking for a little too long for this one, so I'm going to get this mixed quickly. We're going to add an ounce, or about 30 milliliters of our Sage of Shadow infusion. I need a little bit more. Little bit more. Everything else has been 2 ounces. This one gets 1 ounce, and it's because this flavor is intense. 1 ounce of our Sage of Shadow infusion. Heavy on those notes of peppercorn. Like, really heavy on those notes of peppercorn. Next, we're gonna do a little bit of juicing. Little bit of juicing. We need just 1/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. What I try to do with the lemons that I have around here is I will try to, I'll save them in the freezer and I'll dethaw them specifically so that I can juice them later. And you get a very, very juicy lemon. I want to make sure that I don't take any of this lemon juice and make it go to waste. So I'm actually going to juice my lemon over top of one of my containers over here to make sure that I get all the juice and use it a little bit later. Cut this lemon a little bit. Cut that lemon. Get my juicer. Kind of doing some cutting in the air over here. Not a very smart idea, but This is what I got. Lemon juice. Blame it on my lemon juice. Oh, this one's got weird residue in it. I'm gonna use the other one. I guess that one just wasn't fully clean the last time. Anyways, lemon juice. Blame it on my lemon juice. It's very squirty. Very, very squirty. Wow. Evidently, the lemons that you take out of the freezer are, like, very, very pulpy. They always are. And usually we'll try to save our fruit scraps around here. These have been pulverized. I don't know. I don't even know how I'd be able to use these. Probably some infusions, I guess. Also, this juicer sucks, which is why I'm being so dainty with it. This is not my favorite juicer. I want better things here at the bar with an X, and I don't have access to all of them. It makes me sad. Anyways, that's the last time we're juicing things this stream. We need 1/4 ounce, and I only have one jigger that measures that. And I got it right here. We need 1/4 ounce of lemon juice. Freshly squeezed if you have it. If you don't, that is totally okay. Let me put this lemon juice in the fridge, so I have access to it later. Hello. Goodbye. What'd I miss? I see Grofenstein saying, had to step out a little bit. Can you repeat what the Sage of Shadow infusion is? Yes, the Sage of Shadow infusion is gin that has had a number of peppercorns left to sit in it, as well as some rosemary herb. Now, the exact measurements for all the infusions that I've made are in the description of the YouTube VOD. They're in the description of the stream when we actually made the infusions last week. It's also in our Discord server, and I would take the time to say it here, but it's a lot of numbers, and it kind of goes over people's heads anyways. If you want the math, that's where you can find it. All of this stuff will eventually be up on CameroxnWithAnX.com/cocktails. I've just been so behind on it. It's not there right now, but when those become available, you will be notified. I promise you of that. Anyways, we're gonna top this off with sparkling grape juice. Sparkling grape juice. Also, I don't know how the blue one kept over here. That's hilarious. So let's top this off with sparkling grape juice. Specifically, if you have access to Concord grape, that's what I would recommend, personally. Let's go with that. There we go. And we'll give that a stir. It's still got a bit of bubble to it. Very good to know. Very good to know. I see Ethan saying, what's the night in at the very, very, very beginning? What's on at the very, very beginning? The very, very one at the beginning. Very, very beginning? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. The one at the very beginning, the one, drink with the Sage of Light. That was a pretty good one. I see Blair doing a little emote and then a down vote. No! Did you 3D print the medallions? Actually, these ones were cast in wax. These ones in particular. So I made these by taking a 3D model of the medallions, inverting them, and then using them as a wax mold, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend. If you can afford silicone, you should use silicone, mostly because if you're not careful trying to get those things out, you can snap your 3D prints, and you can also, if you're using a X-Acto knife, not that I would recommend it, you could also potentially hurt yourself. Which is, full disclosure, that's how I got this scar on my finger. I have a scar right here on my finger, and it's because I was using an X-Acto knife to try to get these wax sealed, so I bled for these cocktails. I bled specifically for these glasses. Don't do as I do. Do as I say, I guess, or something like that. I see Ethan saying, Poison, Poison Ivy, watching it at the very beginning. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll take it. So this is our Sage, excuse me. This is our Spritz of Shadow. For the Sage of Shadow Impa. Ooh! Alrighty then. Like grape juice, right? I'll start you off with that. It's like grape juice, but a little more sour. I'm talking like sour grapes. Almost like green grape and black grape combined with a kick to it, a very slight kick. This notes of herb, the notes of peppercorn are only really a tactile sensation. Honestly, it doesn't do much more than add a little spicy bite to your otherwise unordinary grape juice that is already carbonated and a little effervescent. Shockingly so, actually. I'll say one of the lessons that I learned as I was mixing these drinks in particular is that there are certain flavors that I feel like exist in certain parts of the palate. And what I mean by that is sometimes the spicy feeling that I get is on my tongue. Sometimes I get it around my cheeks, and sometimes I get it in the back of my throat, or sometimes even up in my nasal cavity. And there are flavors that function in that way too, it seems. This was weird because when you added the Sage of Shadow infusion to the drink, it's almost like there was no additional flavor. All that changed was the feeling in your mouth that you get when you drink it. It's kind of like fizziness in soda or other beverages. Some sodas have a distinct flavor when they are carbonated, and sometimes they have flavors that are distinct when they're not so carbonated. Flat soda sometimes tastes different than fully carbonated soda. And I think it's because carbonic acid actually does have a flavor to it that is detectable by the mouth. But anyways, that's for the scientists. But in this way, it's almost as if the peppercorn is modifying the drink in a way that doesn't interfere with the other pieces of the drink. For example, just because I added peppercorn here does not mean that I've shooed away those flavors of grape. I just added pepper flavor. I added pepper feeling on top of that, which I thought was really interesting. That same concept I found for the Spritz of Shadow, same thing that I found with the Spritz of Fire, which also used the red pepper infusion, but not necessarily the same as, for example, the Spritz of Forest, where those herby notes, those other like almost bitter notes, combine in a different way, and it actually melds with the other flavors. I don't know if that made sense, but I tried my best to try to explain it to you. And that's our Sage of Shadow. Honestly, still a very pleasant drink nonetheless. It's just got some flavors that might be off-putting to some people. I personally like the taste of spiciness and the taste of bitterness, so those notes are doing very, very well for me. And now I have to figure out a place to put the Spritz, because I'm running out of space over here. I see Blair, who said a while back, I'm not leaving until this is over. He'll stick around. We've got 2 more cocktails. There's 2 more. There's 2 more. I'm gonna put this one off to the side over here. Yeah, there's some space over here. Yeah, that'll work. There's 2 more left. And let's see, what has been my favorite so far? My favorite is actually the next one. My favorite is the next one. This one's really, really good. Ethan says, is that it? No, it's not over. We still got 2 more left. Have you been counting? Because there's 7, and we're on to number 6. So now, let's continue on with this. The next one we have is the Spritz of Spirit, which I think is kind of funny because we're dealing with alcohol and other good spirits, which I think is hilarious. But I didn't call it the Spirit of Spirit. We infused the spirit to make the spirit, the Spritzy Spirit. It's going to be great. So this one is probably one of the more intense colors that we got out of this. And I wasn't expecting it, like, at all. This is our Infusion of Spirit. And this is our Infusion of Spirit, and our Infusion of Spirit utilized a bottle that doesn't usually make its round here at the Bar with an X very often. It's a bottle of spirit called Arac. Arac is a grape and anise seed distillate, some consider to be one of the earliest spirits of the world. This is a liqueur of it. Specifically, the brand is Zaclavie. I have a bottle of it back here that I'll show off to you all. Hold on. It does not get used very often, so I don't really have it as often. This is a bottle of Zaclavie, or Zaclavie. It is a gourmet Arac liqueur, which has notes of anise to it, notes of licorice to it, and it's oddly sweet. It's kind of, to put it in terms of things that are a little more, I guess, familiar, imagine a significantly less herbaceous absinthe that was sweet instead. And that's kind of how it approximates the flavor of that Arac liqueur. That liqueur was combined with cinnamon as well as an entire piece of honeycomb. And then that was brought up to temperature to allow the honeycomb to melt a little bit. And then I shook the hell out of this thing and allowed it to separate before straining out. It is so incredibly orange. It has such a powerful color to it, and when I was tasting this, I was probably looking forward to sharing this with y'all the most because it is intense and a really recognizable flavor that I might have just accidentally created here in my home bar. So, it's pretty cool. I have one Glencairn glass left, so I'm going to utilize it. We'll give that a pour. See how it goes. There we go. I see Glorfenstein saying, pretty rare around where I'm from in the East Coast. No, I agree with that one. I am also on the East Coast, and I've only seen a bottle of this once, and when I saw it, I was like, huh, I don't have one of those. I actually bought this at the same time as the bottle of Oitza that we have here at the Bar with an X, and I didn't realize when I bought them that they were very similar spirits. So this is our Infusion of Spirit. It smells so prominently of cinnamon. It's such a pleasant smell. Oh, it's so good. Wow, it's amazing. If anybody is here based in the States, if you've ever had a hot tamale candy, to me, this tastes exactly like a hot tamale. And that can be described as cinnamony. It is, oh, I definitely just, oh, excuse me, got something in my eye. And it happened to be one of the flies that had been flying around here. Oh my God. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Oh. I'll apologize ahead of time. Our landlords told us to pour bleach down the drain to get rid of flies, and it's not working very well. So they all came up here to say hello, because I've got the free sweet stuff at the bar. This is like a hot tamale. It is like a liquid hot tamale. It is cinnamony. It is spicy in a cinnamony kind of way, and it also kind of tastes like wax. And there's no other way to describe that. It's like a jelly. It's like a cinnamon jelly bean. But actually, yeah, if I were not to describe it using brand terms, it is like a cinnamon jelly bean. And it's delightful. It's sweet, it's cinnamony, it's a little waxy, and it's delightful. This was so good. This is actually a kind of a flavor from my childhood. And when I tasted it for the first time, I was like, there's no way. There's no way that I just created the hot tamale flavor. And I totally just did. And it's really, really cool. It's delightful. In addition, the honeycomb that was waxed and then correspondingly washed into the drink was separated out, and I left it on a hot plate to try to recover it a little bit. And as that wax melted, oh gosh, it smelled so good in here. There's a little bit of that smell still remaining up here, but we've had the air going to try to help with the flies to make things very, very cold. So I'm not getting too much of it now, but it is delightful. Glorfenstein says those are so good. Chewy Red Hots are great too. That's fair. I never actually tried the Red Hot brand. Unfortunately, I have not. So let's see. We need to get the angle over. There we go. Let's move over to the cocktail angle. There we go. Put this up to the thing. I also love the way that the color looks on this guy. This one looks really cool. Some of my waxes were metallic and some of them were not. So I combined a little bit of them together to make it work. So let's fill our glass up with ice. We're gonna grab a cinnamon stick for this one as the garnish. I got a long one in one of my containers over here. Let me grab that. And oh, that's a big one. I want you for infusing. Come here, buddy. Don't get cut on the plastic. Thank you so much. I grabbed a cinnamon stick. I'll use that cinnamon stick for garnish. Let's grab some ice. Fill our glass up with ice, just like we've done for all of these infusions so far. I'm actually going to be able to fit 5 in this one. That's weird. Not a single other one worked like that. And now what we'll do is I'm going to wedge my cinnamon stick. Don't take that out of context. Right in between the ice there. And we'll build it over top. This is also a very simple one. This is just 2 ounces of our infusion topped with Prosecco, oddly enough. So, let me grab a measure and a jigger. Let's try to measure out 2 ounces as we can. There we go. I'm gonna need a little bit more on that. I see Jake saying, that looks sick, dude. Well, thank you, Jake. I appreciate that. Welcome in. Welcome in. 2 ounces. Almost 2 ounces. We got 2 ounces now. And Blair says, ice. Sick ice, nice. No matter how you splice it, it's a drink. 2 ounces of our Spirit Infusion. 2 ounces of our Sage of Spirit Infusion. On its own, it tastes like a hot tamale, and it's, oh, so good. Oh, so good. And then we're going to top that with Prosecco. I've still got a little bit of my Prosecco remaining over here from, I believe it was the Forest Infusion, the Spritz of Forest. Top that. Ooh, I'm gonna need a little bit more. I need more. I need more, I say. So let's grab another one. I got some over here. That ain't it. This one. This is the last of the Prosecco. I've run out. I've spent it all on y'all. Blair says, I have one question. I will answer your question. And Jake says, you deserve my subscription. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jake. I will use this subscription well. I will not take advantage of it. But then again, as I get drunker, I can't make any guarantees. Top it all the way to the top with Prosecco if you've got it. There we go. Woo! There we go. Take a swig of the Prosecco too while you're at it. You deserve it because you're worth it. That's potent. And now to make sure that everything kind of gets to know each other, let's mix it around a little bit. Trying not to disturb our cinnamon stick. It actually looks great. Perfect. That's delightful. Oh my gosh. Blair says, why did you eat Charlotte when you played Zelda? Why? Because I believe, if I'm correct in saying, Charlotte was an animal, and animals during that stream at least were to be eaten. By the way, for everybody who's popping in now who might be new, it's context that you're missing from a stream past. If you want to know why I ate Charlotte, just gonna have to go back and check or tune in next time, I guess. So this is our Spritz of Spirit for the Sage of Spirit, Noburu, from The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It is cinnamony. It smells like potpourri, dude. Wow. 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 See, I was already reminiscing in the nostalgia of how I had somehow created the flavor of a hot tamale or spicy red hot, whatever you have, cinnamon jelly bean here at the bar. When you add this to Prosecco, those flavors intensify. They're, oh my God, they're absolutely beautiful. It is, so the notes that I was getting from that Prosecco before is a little creamy. Not quite sour creamy. It's like a little bit of key lime, but actually a little more on those flavors of like kind of apricot, pear a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that one. But you add that to the cinnamon, and it's like pie. It's like a pastry. I don't know what kind of pie this is, to be honest, but if I had to make a specific point, it's like a less appley apple pie. If you included all of the baking spices in an apple pie and took out most of the apple, that's kind of what this is. Actually, no, I'll refine that a little bit. This was made with honeycomb, which had a bit of honey in it. This is like, if you could make an apple pie, but instead of apple pie, it's a honey pie, this is what I imagine that would taste like. And it smells like cinnamon potpourri. And it's beautiful. It's, oh God, it's so good. Oh my God, it's so good. Anyway, this is my favorite. Out of all the drinks that I'll be showcasing this evening, and there's only one more left, this is my favorite. I am impartial to the Spritz of Spirit, and it's so good. I see Jake saying, have you streamed before? Your setup looks amazing. Like on other platforms, I have been streaming for about 3 years now. I had my humble beginnings over on twitch.tv/CameroxnWithAnX, and I still say hello to those people every once in a while. But yeah, I've been streaming for like 3 years or so now. The setup now is completely different than it was a while ago, and everybody's got those ugly first few weeks, months, or even years of their content. But we started from a tiny little foldable table in my old apartment, And somehow, some rich asshole in New Jersey was giving away a full entertainment center, so we transformed it into a bar and studio. And that's what we've done here. But I appreciate your compliments there, Jake. Ethan saying, K! K! That's the double potassium. For those of you who are not aware, the chemical symbol for potassium is K, and if you put two next to each other, you have bananas. Anyway, this is delightful. Let's pop a coaster on that. I have one more drink that I want to showcase to y'all this evening before we're done for the evening. But don't worry, there's more stuff. It'll just be later on. Let's grab a coaster. This one happens to be from a brewery that's actually very, very close by. Bar Techni. I'll put you over here. You're kind of in the darkness. Actually, it's kind of fitting that the Spritz of Shadow is hanging in the darkness. For the folks on the vertical side, unfortunately, you can't see these off screen. They're cropped out a little bit. I apologize about that. In any case, let's move on to the final Spritz of the evening. I have to type next in my keyboard, which is behind my drinks right now. Oh, that's next and the number 5. That's not what I wanted. Oh, whoops. There we go. The final drink that I have for y'all this evening is the Spritz of Time, made for the Sage of Time, aka Princess Zelda from The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. And that will require our Infusion of Time. If y'all are joining a little bit later, what you've missed since the very beginning is 7 days ago, or rather I'd say 7 years ago, a much younger and more spry me put a bunch of things in alcohol. And then 7 days or 7 years later, an older me, significantly more experienced than my younger self, decided to strain things out, do a little bit of modification, and turn them into spirits, infusions, that were the base for all of these cocktails that I've showcased to y'all this evening. And I'll give a full summary at the end for anybody who's popped in later. If you want the full summary, it's in the description of the video technically, and it'll be in the VOD. So you don't have to stick around here. I'm sure you have a very busy life. I know I do. So let's grab that and our specially made glass just for the occasion. Ethan says, no, like, okay, no, I understand what you mean there. I was making a joke. By the way, I kind of sort of went into the Cape Cider web today. I have no idea what that means. Do you mean Cape Codder? I think they make chips. I don't know what that type of the internet is, but that seems interesting. Jake says, humble beginnings lead to wonderful results. I completely agree with that. Jake, you were oddly inquisitive about the streaming setup here. Do you stream as well? If you want to share, you're more than welcome to. Please feel no pressure to do so, but this is definitely, if you're trying to look for an excuse to self-promote, this is your time to do so. So, let's go through and taste our Infusion of Time. Our Infusion of Time is vodka left to infuse with lychee nuts as well as some white dragon fruit. I believe we had almost an entire dragon fruit in there, and I think I took almost the entire container of the lychee nuts as well to make this particular infusion. So let's taste that for... Okay. Alrighty then. We'll taste this first after I can actually get the thing off of it. I was not able to do so. The top of my thing just came off, and it's got glue on it. Oh, I'm not putting my mouth on that. Hold on, I got a wine opener around here somewhere. Excuse me, my lovely. Where's my wine opener?
The cork bottle opener?
Where are they?
In the wine drawer?
I know I had one over here. Where the heck did I put it?
In the wine drawer?
Oh, yo! Thank you, my dearest. I have... Alrighty then. Well, I guess I'm not opening that up the regular way. Apparently, you have to manually uncork the Infusion of Time. That's a first. That's never happened before. That's awesome. No, that didn't... Oh, I see. Hold up. Gotta do it. Oh my gosh. Hold the thing down. There we go. Gotta do the thing. Jake says, no, I wish though. If you had to stream something, Jake, what would you stream? Video games? Your passion? Something else completely? Would you stream yourself just drinking coffee at the beginning of your busy days? I'd do that too, if I felt like people were interested in my professional life. Only my personal life. Who knew? Anyway, didn't think that I would have to do that this evening. But here we are. And I'm gonna make a future Cameron deal with that. Actually, I have an idea. Dearest, would you mind helping me for a moment?
Sure.
My partner is always off screen, sometimes willing to help. There is a fresh bottle that I just cleaned today in the cabinet. It's a replacement bottle because I had a strange feeling we might have a technical difficulty.
Is it like a bottle?
It's a bottle. It's a bottle. Yeah, not a mason jar. Thank you, lovely. We have a whole dungeon in this apartment. It's beautiful. So let's taste our Infusion of Time, right? I ran out of coupe glasses, so we're gonna get a really, really cute little cordial glass instead. Whoop, there we go. Almost got it. Almost got it there. That's perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. Thank you so much, love. For somebody who goes through as many bottles as I do, you have spare bottles laying around just for the occasion. Let's give this a taste, shall we? It smells like lychee. It also tastes like lychee. It's lychee-like. But like it's also a bit more bitter and like oddly savory. It's weird. This is not sweet at all, but it tastes like a lychee nut. Anna has requested, I see her hand off screen. She wants to taste.
I'm on stream, but...
You're on stream? Oh look, it's your face being censored by the thingy. Jake says, no, I wish though. Video games probably. What kind of video games are you interested in? I like platformers and lore-heavy things. Just more material to work with in terms of cocktail creations.
It does have a nutty quality, which is weird.
It is nutty, right? It is nutty.
It's like forward with the lychee, and then you're like,
it's
there's
like
some kind of nut here.
It's like, yeah, it's...
Here you go.
It's almost almond-like?
A little weird. Did you
It's weird.
denutify them, or did you leave them?
No, yeah, they were deep-pitted. They were deep-pitted. It's interesting. It's almost like a savory nut. With absolutely no salinity. I'm adding additional context to that statement. That's really interesting. That is a really odd flavor. I dig that. I dig that very much. I see Little Saw popping in saying, we making the special lucky Grinch Capri Son of Lime from Deku Tree of Time where it inhabits the time? Hey, y'all, how's it going? No. Specifically not that. But the closest thing we have is this Spritz of Forest over here, which does have notes of lime to it. And like, it's not really nutty. I'd be lying if I told you it was nutty. Anyways, let me very quickly swap bottles for our Sage of Time infusion because this one's got a very interesting smell to it, and I have a strange feeling that if I let it go, it might get a little weird. So let me transfer bottles real quick. You popped in at just the right time, Little Saw. I was just tasting the Infusion of Time from last week, and evidently the cork came off, the cork broke. So I can't use this bottle anymore. Let's see. I'll just transfer the label. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's... Be none the wiser. Quick transfer. There we go. Don't want this bottle in it. I can't use... I mean, I might be able to get another cork for this at some point. So I'll put that to the side. I might be able to get another cork. That cork is foobarred though, so... Don't want that anymore. I see Jake saying Zelda, or just talking. No, those are valid. Which Zelda games in particular? I'm getting a little too personal on this, I understand that. Anyways, so let's go for this. Let's build this cocktail. But first, we need to get a garnish. And this is where things gets a little more weird and unexpected. So, the drink was made by infusing lychee nuts and dragon fruit into vodka. I went back to the store because I used every single one of my lychee nuts and they were completely sold out. But conveniently, right next to the lychee nuts were these little fruits called rambutans. And then the little spiky things. Check this shit out. This is a rambutan, and a rambutan kind of looks like a raspberry that grew testicles, I guess. It's like a raspberry that hit puberty. Like, this thing is freaking wild. And you know what's even more wild? Apparently, if I had to guess, lychee nuts and rambutans are in the same family, because if you take this and you open it, let me unsheath my knife here. If you crack this open, it's got a weird coloration to it. If you crack this open, I'll show it to y'all. Be careful, always cut away from yourself. Try to get in here. Gotta dig deep into it. Look at this. Check this out. Now, if that doesn't look like a lychee nut, I don't know. I don't know, but I cracked this thing open and I was like, what the heck? That looks like a lychee. It's not a lychee. It's a rambutan. So instead of garnishing with lychees, we're gonna use rambutans instead. And I did do a little taste comparison. It does not have the same flavor as a lychee. It's a little bit different. There's a pit in the center of this, so don't bite the pit. Ugh. Ugh. Do not bite the pit. Oh my goodness. I bit the pit. I totally messed up the pit there. That's hilarious. It's nutty. It's sweet and it's kind of nutty. It's actually very interesting. It's very, very interesting. It is the nuttiest fruit that I have ever had. And because I knew that the flavor of the Infusion of Time was also kind of nutty, I was like, you know what? I think this is going to work out just fine. So you can either garnish this with extra lychee nuts if you have them, or rambutans. Whichever is most available to you. I'm going to grab a couple of these. I'll grab like 3, and I'll quickly process them as best as I can. We'll just do 2, because these ones are kind of a bitch. Great. Edible tumbleweed, says Jake. Now, I get that. I see that. How many viewers are on Twitch right now? Just wondering. I have no idea. For my own mental sanity, I really don't look at how many people are watching. I remember I have a number of years of acting and performing experience too, and the thing that I remember most about being up on stage with a bunch of lights on you is that I could never see how many people are in the audience because the lights were so blinding. That might also be in part a problem of my eyesight. I do have an appointment with the eye doctor in a month or so. I haven't been in like 10 years or so, but I never see how many people are watching. Because honestly, I think of it this way. The VODs will exist ad infinitum, and if I talk to, let's say, as if I was talking to one person, it just feels so, like, you know, it's like, it feels almost unfair to the people who may watch after the fact, so. I never think that there's one person watching. I would think that there's effectively infinite people watching all the time, and that's just a personal mentality. I see Willpower popping in saying, hey-o there, what's up? And Little Saw, I missed your message. Kind of funny how that funnel is meant to fit that bottle. Some of them are, most of them are not. It's actually quite interesting. And while I'm actually talking to chat, I should be processing these rambutans because they are, like I said, a little bitchy to get open. Correction, they're not that difficult to get open. They actually, once you score them, they peel really easily. It's really annoying to get the nut in the center out. Oh, that is bitter. Oh, don't do what I just did. Unless you like bitter things, which I do. So I'm overreacting, actually. It's just a bit, yo. It's just a bit. The inside flesh of these things are very bitter. And they're very hairy. I like that comparison, Glorfenstein. An edible tumbleweed. Whew, it's also very sticky. Ew. It honestly kind of looks like a roach. It looks like there's roaches on my bar right now. It's disgusting, but like tiny little bugs. There's a hard pit in the center. Score it, and then remove the pit. The pit is generally considered to be inedible. These things are also really, really, really slippery. So, if anybody's got tips on how to process rambutans in the future, hit me up. This sucks. Hey, you want to watch this? Now you're going to watch this. There we go. You're going to watch me try at this. Willpower says, how's the stream been? We're almost towards the end, my guy. Almost towards the end. We are on the Spritz of Time right now, the final cocktail of the evening. I'm currently trying to split rambutans from their not-so-tan innards, and it's difficult. I am by no means a professional at this. This is my first time processing a rambutan, so I'm making a mess, and I'm using my fingers, and I will not apologize for that. There we go. Here's a piece of rambutan. When the CameroxnWithAnX gets its actual location one day, I promise if this is on the menu, I will figure out how to make this stuff work well. I promise. I see Ethan putting in ellipses in chats. Why? Why? ... Or maybe it's supposed to be crickets because my content is so boring. It's true. Well, think of it from this perspective, y'all. you could be on my side. And then it's boring, but at least tasty in sometimes. Sometimes. All right. That's about as much as I feel like screwing around with rambutans today, so that's all you're getting. My fingers are incredibly dirty, very sticky, and I'm not a fan. Willpower says, Ethan is trying to be like Red from Pokemon, saying nothing, remaining intimidating, and somehow still not having very much of a large effect on my childhood. I did play through the games, and I did fight Red when I was a child, but like, it just wasn't very significant for me. I think I grinded the shit out of that game, and I don't remember which game it was too. It was Pokemon Blue? Or Red? I don't remember. It's been so long. We haven't yet streamed Pokemon on this channel, and it's because I'm just afraid, y'all. I'm just afraid. Anyways, let's proceed with making the Infusion of Time. I'm going to add some ice to this glass. I'm going to throw my rambutans or lychees inside of it, and then we'll build it and be done with it. We're almost to the end, y'all. Almost to the end. Fill this thing up with ice. If you've got it. If you don't, you could also, if you don't have ice, which I feel like you might, you can also put this in the freezer. But if you don't have ice, you probably also don't have a freezer, so the options are still there for you. They still are. We're gonna put our rambutans or lychees on the inside. I don't know. Some garnishes, some things that you put inside the drink will continue to flavor the drink the longer that they sit in there. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I would give you an estimation. I would think it will probably taste a little bit nuttier, but I have absolutely no guarantees. Because this is the first time I'm using the rambutan. This was a spur-of-the-moment decision, so whether or not it works is up to chance at this point. So now that you've got this, let's build our cocktail on top of it. We need to start with 2 ounces of our Sage of Time infusion. I've got a little bit in my glass here. I'll put that off to the side. And I'll get some from my new bottle. There we go. 2 ounces. Woo! 2 ounces or about 59 milliliters of your Sage of Time infusion. Blank moment. Actually, technically, it's an editing moment because I edit all my videos and I have to have the right words so that I do things properly. 2 ounces of our Sage of Time infusion. For folks that have been here at the Bar with an X for a while now, if you catch me repeating myself and awkwardly stuttering, it's because I've been editing my videos a lot now. So now that I know what it's like to edit these videos, I'm trying to save myself the trouble by saying certain things again because I know exactly what's coming. Willpower says that in gold, silver, and crystal, you fight red in that one. And ooh, sick cup. Every single one of these got a sick cup to go along with it. All created, for those curious, by 3D printing inverted medallions and then putting wax into them and removing them. I didn't do a very good job because I scarred myself during the process, but I literally sweat and bleed for these streams. So that's the effort that we're going to keep with. And now we're going to add half an ounce of rich simple syrup. For those of you who are unaware, a rich simple syrup is simple syrup that has been created with a 2-to-1 ratio of sugar to water by weight, not just a 1-to-1 ratio. This is what I mean by that. So a half an ounce of rich simple syrup. Try to get that inside of your liquid because it is thick. We are trying to make sure that it combines with everything else. Jake also saying, I have a theory. Ethan is trapped in Cam's basement yelling for help. That's definitely not the case. But if that is the idea, it could very well be the ellipses saying that Ethan could very well have duct tape over their mouths and just can't find the words. And that is okay. That is okay. And I say that from a very understanding standpoint. I have people in my life who, for one reason or another, go mute every once in a while or nonverbal, and it is a totally normal and totally okay thing. And if you suffer from this kind of stuff, or benefit from it, or fall somewhere in between, you are totally okay, and you have my validation. So now we're going to top this with soda water. What you got down here? You could measure out 3 ounces if you want to, but I don't think you need to. Top this with soda water. And then agitate it a little bit, and then we'll be all good. And there you have our Spritz of Time. For specifically, our Sage of Time, Princess Zelda from The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. Smells like what I would imagine the lychee to smell like. It's light. It's very, very light. This is one of the most naked ways of tasting lychee that I have ever had. This is basically exactly what the flavor of the Sage of Time and Infusion is, but lightly watered down. And the reason why I went with this one was because it was just a really unique flavor when I was tasting it throughout the last couple days. I didn't want to overcomplicate it a little bit. It's interesting. It is very interesting. It is slightly nutty. It is slightly savory. It is very light and very cool and very bubbly and refreshing. And part of that is from the lychee. Part of that is from the slight citrus notes of the dragon fruit that went into this infusion. I feel like it's a Spritz for the times. But that's a pretentious statement, and you'd never hear me say it twice. Anyway. What's going on in chat? I see Little Sauce saying the Triforce glass. Where do I find one? We're just gonna have to make one, unfortunately. I can send you the files for it, though, if you have a 3D printer and wax, I guess. It's fun stuff. I hope to conserve these ones. They're a bitch to clean, but they'll be my keepsakes. A little remembrance of this stream. I see Ethan saying, after the live stream, if you want, you can check out this video. I'm just bringing this back. I haven't reminded anybody yet, but I'm just playing this back up. By all means, if y'all are interested in Ethan Games' stuff, you can check it out. I don't think the link was somewhere in chat somewhere, but I don't think it's actually... Oh, actually, I just remembered something. I think you're on the vertical chat, Ethan Games. And I learned actually the other day, this is something that not everybody knows anyway, so I'm sharing with y'all just so that we're all aware of it. URLs, links do not work in the short form live. They don't work in short form content, comments, and they don't seem to work in short form descriptions either. So I remember a while back we were discussing why the links weren't working in the vertical chat, and that's because YouTube doesn't let them work. So your links are not going to work in the vertical chat, and I just remember that right now. So if you want that link to show up, you have to make your way to the horizontal chat or join us on Twitch as well. That's not me trying to be like self-promotional. It's just the fact, apparently. In any case, have you seen the Inside Out 2? I have not, unfortunately. Glorfenstein says scene. I see that there. What's up? Oh, Brayden, I just noticed. Brayden, your name color is very similar to Ethan's is. Welcome back, Zelda wine. Have you seen it? No, I haven't. Ocarina of Time. That's an old drink. And Willpower saying, wish me luck on Saturday. Got a big stream that day. No way. No way. You too? We've also got a very big stream. Anyway, that is our Sage. That's our Spritz of Time. Yo, that's all of it. We've gotten through every single Spritz. And so, oh, thank you. I have one live studio audience members, and it's my beautifully wedded partner, Anna. I love her. I love you so much. You're so awesome. Why are you sticking your tongue out? That's weird. Stop. Don't. Why? No, put it back in your mouth, please. Ugh. I love her for her oddities and quirks and everything else. Ethan says, so bye. See you next time. Peace out, dude. Peace out. In any case, let's put this thing away. Is that an Azaran? Look at that. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, everybody. We are just at the very, very end of our stream here where we showcased recipes, specifically 7 of them, for every single sage that appears in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And conveniently so, it's a summertime spritz for every single sage, just in time for summer. It's perfect, and it dates this video. So anyways, let me put these all on a line so we can get a view of everything, and I will do a bit of a roundup to make sure that everybody has all of the knowledge that they could potentially want for how to make every single one of these infusions. And actually, I will also tell you how to make the infusions and the spritzes themselves, just to make sure that everybody's got all of the information they would need. Because when I watch videos like this and they don't provide the information, I get pissed off. So I try to provide that value for my viewers so that I don't piss you off. Anyways. See, I stick my tongue out of my mouth too. Let's bring all these
clap symbol sign so that it's I know.
We need a clap. We need a neon sign that says clap. It's hilarious.
It will only be me that ever sees it, and we'll know when I'm here based off of whether or not I clap.
It's good stuff. Ethan says, "What? I was saying goodbye to you. You said bye." And Willpower says, "So loving." Yeah, I love her so much. I should be putting bottles up on the thing. There we go. We'll do that. These are all the bottles. Every single one got their own. It's amazing. Oh. I see Azaran saying, "OMG, these look amazing." Now imagine how they look, but in your mouth, and it gets even better. In some cases, depending on your flavor preferences. It is a total mess at this bar. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, dude. Functional says, "Yeah, these are really high quality." Thank you. Maybe one day I'll be paid for this job. Anyways.
What was that face?
I don't know. Dude. All right, I'm gonna try. Okay, the microphone is actually gonna come back here. We're gonna move it ever so slightly. Excuse me, y'all. So that I can properly put all these drinks on the bar. You thought things sounded sexy from the top of the bar? Just wait till I'm literally on my tippy toes. I am very small. I'm a very small individual, y'all. Let's try to order these in some order. I don't know. This is actually the reverse order. I'm struggling, y'all, but that's okay. Just be patient. I promise. Promise it's worth it. Promise it's worth it. Okay, so lights. Coasters. We have the Sage of Lights. Here we go. That toward the camera. Little Sauce says, "Mess at the bar? That's a mess with an X. That's pronounced mess, because the X is silent."
Is it after the E?
Yes, it would be after the E in that case. Perfect. We've got the Infusion of Forest, which goes over here, which means we need the... By the way, for all you budding mixologists and bartenders out there, now here on ASMR, CameroxnWithAnX. Not doing that again. Don't do what I'm doing if you actually have people at your bar. This is called spidering a glass. I'm putting my grubby little bar fingers all over the place where people's mouths go. I'm the only one drinking these, so I'm allowed to do this.
You mean I don't get any?
Would you like some? You're my wife. If it bothers you, I will stop. If it bothers you, I will stop. But you have to tell me. I guess it's fine. She says it's fine. Forest, then fire, then water, then shadow, then spirits, and then light. I have to reset back up what I had set up at the very, very beginning of the stream all over again. But it's all worth it because now we actually have drinks. Forest. Fire. Excuse me. You got my burp right in the microphone. Sorry, y'all. Shadow gets swapped with time. Time go over here. Let's move this coaster. Give ourselves a little bit more space. And then put spirit over here. Take these coasters. Put them elsewhere. How about over here? Okay, and now let's make sure everybody's looking at the camera. Everybody deserves the limelight a little bit. There we go. There we go. Almost. Why are you so behind the others? Don't do that. There we go. Got the little forest medallion, and we have you in the light. It's beautiful. We did it. We did it. Ethan says, "I was waiting so long for this." You and me both, Ethan. We have made it all the way to the end of 7 Spritzes for 7 sages after 7 long years for The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. We have a Spritz and corresponding infusion for the Sage of Light, Rauru, the Sage of Forest, Saria, the Sage of Fire, Darunia, the Sage of Water, Princess Ruto, the Sage of Shadow, Impa, the Sage of Spirit, Noboru, and the Sage of Time, who you meet at the very end, Princess Zelda, who's been disguised as Sheik the entire time. If you will allow me a moment to go to my reference sheet so I can get you the recipes for all of these different infusions, it makes it easy for me. I see Ethan saying, I was waiting so long, and Ash Ketchum popping into chat saying, hey, have you found Pikachu? I wish, dude. I've been looking for Pikachu this whole time. Chonkachu? Wait, what? Where'd you say?
Chonkachu's right there.
You said there's a Pikachu on my bar right now? Where? Can you tell me where Pikachu is? Oh, right here? Conveniently off screen for all of the vertical guests? That's hilarious. That's wild. Yeah, I found Pikachu, and I gave Pikachu a little party hat. It was actually incredible. Thank you for Ash. I honestly probably would have missed him if not for you pointing him out, Ash. Thank you for that. So we've got infusions for all of these. Let's start all the way from the beginning. I'm gonna need to do this command to help me. There we go, all the way back to the beginning. Functional says, all right, now saying, we did it from Dora. No, you first, and then I'll do it right after you. So, let's go all the way back to 7 years ago. 7 long days ago. It's been a number of hours that I don't feel like calculating. 7 days ago, we put a bunch of things in liquors and created a corresponding number of spirits that went into all of these spritzes that you see before you. The first infusion that we did is the Infusion of Light, which can be created by combining 18 ounces or 532 milliliters of white rum with 400 grams of pineapple fruit and 50 grams of coconut oil. You'll heat this mixture up to the point where the coconut oil completely melts, give it a good shake, and then let it separate in the freezer or refrigerator until everything is separated. After your allotted infusion time, strain it out, and you will have an infusion of light that kind of tastes a little coconutty, with the tartness of pineapple, with all the fun flavors of rum. To create your Spritz of Light, you'll combine 2 ounces of your Sage of Light infusion with 2 ounces of coconut water, and then top that with 2 ounces of soda water, or fill it to the top. You can do that too. Ethan says, Dora. Wait, Cam, you forgot the most important mix. You never made the center of Kakariko Village grotto drink. Patience, dude. We'll get there. The bomb in the center of the Kakariko Village. We'll get there. You guys played a pivotal role in this one. Right here. But we'll get to that. Let's do the next one. That was how to make your Spritz of Light and your Infusion of Light. The next one on our list happened to be the Spritz of Forest and the Infusion of Forest. The Infusion of Forest was made by combining... Whoa, hello Discord, what are you doing, dude? Hello Discord. I got it now. All the recipes, by the way, are in our Discord server. If you're into that kind of stuff, we talk about drinks, food, and literally anything else that we want to, except for pornography. That's not allowed. We have the Sage of Forest Infusion, which was made by combining 12 ounces or 355 milliliters of gin. I believe I used a London Dry, but it was some combination anyway, with 3 grams of lime zest and 6 grams of thyme, like the herb. Let that sit for 7 days and strain it out, and you have your characteristic infusion here. Take your infusion and add 2 ounces or 59 milliliters to it over ice, and add half an ounce or 15 milliliters of sage simple syrup, like the herb, and then top it all the way off with Prosecco of your choosing and garnish with a lime wheel for a drink that kind of tastes like lime, but more so the lime like those little green lollipops that you can get from TD Bank, at least over here in America. It's absolutely wild. Ethan, I acknowledge all those emotes there. They're beautiful. Glorfenstein saying, not that kind of X in the bar. No, not that one. There was one X-rated cocktail stream, but I'm technically not allowed to talk about it. Sorry I'm late for the 7 Sages. Metaton, welcome in, dude. You're just in time for me telling you how to make the other 5 of them, which is not late, just a little tardy, you know? So that's how you make your Spritz of Forest. To make your Sage of Fire infusion, all you need to do is combine Campari with some sliced strawberries. Combine 16 ounces or 473 milliliters of Campari with 384 grams of strawberry. You can size this up to be an entire bottle of Campari if you want to, and there's no problem with that. To create your corresponding Spritz of Fire, take 2 ounces of your Sage of Fire infusion and add that to half an ounce of red pepper syrup, which is merely syrup that's had red pepper flakes left to sit in it for 7 days or so. And then combine that, top it off with 3 ounces, or filled to the top with soda water, and garnish that with a spicy red pepper. To let your people know that there is, in fact, spicy flavors in the drink. I see that. Azaran saying when and where. Post address. I have no address. I live on the internet. Pixie Flow is popping in for the first time saying I would drink the Spritz of Forest. Are you a fan of lime? I would say that there's others that might fit that flavor palette, but nothing else here uses lime in any way, shape, or form. Go figure. Look at that. In any case, that's how you make our Spritz of Forest. That's how you make our Spritz of Fire. The next one we have here is our Sage of Water. Our Sage of Water infusion was made by combining 22 ounces or 650 milliliters of vodka, which, by the way, is almost the full bottle, with 30 blue raspberry Jolly Rancher candies, as well as the flesh of 3 green apples that have been completely peeled. We let that sit for 7 days and then strain it out completely. And the only thing that you're straining, by the way, is the apples, because the Jolly Ranchers just dissolve. This is basically blue raspberry vodka, and it tastes amazing. To create your Spritz of Water, you'll combine 2 ounces of your Sage of Water infusion, your blue raspberry vodka, with 3 ounces of champagne, or fill it all the way up to the top. It's so damn bubbly that it is still going even now. This one tastes like blue raspberry, but slightly more tart. And it's delightful. I'll say that the Spritz of Fire was bitter, spicy, with the slight tartness of strawberry, and personally, I love that flavor profile, so it's one of my favorites, but not quite my favorite. I see Ethan saying, ... I feel that. I love limes as functional, and I like brick, said Brick. Pixie saying, I'm a fan of herbs, bubbles, and refreshing drink. You teleported me here when I was in the bathroom. Pixie? OMG, what are you doing here? Oh, you were talking to Azaran. I was like, I did what to you now? That's incredible. I didn't realize that these drinks had teleportation powers. To my knowledge, only one of these drinks can transport you through time, not space. But, you know, space-time continuum, all stuff like that. I am not a scientist. I'm a mixologist. They're completely different things. I could be convinced. So after our Spritz of Water and our Infusion of Water, we come to our Spritz and Infusion of Shadow. Azaran and Functional, you guys both played a foundational role in the creation of this particular infusion. To create the Infusion of Shadow, you need to take 22 ounces or 650 milliliters of gin, combine that with 55.7 grams of whole black peppercorns and 11.2 grams of rosemary, the herb. The reason why this is relevant for Functional and Azaran is during our playthrough of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, I was specifically solicited and harassed to put a bomb in the center of Kakariko Village to reveal what we later found out to be the Grotto of Remembrance, I believe it was. As it turns out, the herb rosemary is considered in some cultures to be the herb of remembrance, or like the plant of remembrance. So I was like, yo, the Shadow Temple is in the graveyard. It's close to Kakariko Village. I wonder if black pepper goes with rosemary, and the answer is a resounding yes. And on that same train of thought, the flavors of black peppercorn and rosemary also go well with grape, because to create your Spritz of Shadow, you need to combine a single ounce of your very, very spicy Sage of Shadow infusion and combine that with 1/4 ounce of lemon juice, and then top the whole thing up with sparkling grape juice. For at least me over here, the grape juice that I had access to is Concord grape juice, and it creates this very nice and refreshing sparkling grape juice cocktail that's got the bite of peppercorn to kind of remind you that, I guess, your mortality still exists. And it's very, very tasty. These are all, in my opinion, very tasty drinks. They're balanced in one way, shape, or form, but feature a particular flavor archetype for each of them. This is me just trying to do fancy talk. It's impressive that I can do this after 7 whole drinks. Just kidding. They're not 7 whole drinks. It's great. I see Glorfenstein saying, the flesh feels like an unhinged way to describe apple skins. I don't know how else to refer to the part of the fruit that's the fruit part. It's not the flesh. It's not the skin. This flesh is like the inside. So like I would consider my flesh to be everything inside of my skin, but that's where that's analogy coming from. So in case it was unclear, it is apple slices that have been peeled. So there is no skin on them because I didn't want to impart green color into the water infusion. Although I didn't do a very good job of that anyways. One of the reasons why I put so many Jolly Ranchers in there. Pixie saying, did you add more than 6 blue raspberry Jolly Ranchers? Yes, it wound up being 30 of them. Actually, what happened was when it infused, it was about a day later when I noticed that it was turning green because of the oxidation that was happening to the green apple slices on the inside. I was like, no! I also tasted it, and it didn't taste like blue raspberry, so I added a shit ton more to it and got more from the store. Jolly Rancher has been reached out to, by the way. I believe Anna did the reach out for me, and it's been crazy. I see Functional and Azarant saying, we did what? Hell yeah, here we go. Yeah, we knew what we were doing the whole time. Yeah, I can't believe I was able to create an entire drink all on my own with you and Azaran. Crazy. Crazy how that works out. It's wild how a mixologist or bartender or general cocktail maker can somehow take inspiration not only from the games that he's playing, but also the people who pop by and harass you during it. Inspiration comes from all different locations, so I thank both of you, specifically Functional and Azaran, for helping me basically create that particular drink. But in any case, we got 2 more left. The penultimate cocktail, which is also my favorite one of the bunch. This one here is the Sage of Spirit infusion, which is actually a very interesting infusion because it takes a particular spirit that doesn't really get... Excuse me. A particular spirit that doesn't really get a lot of the limelight here, no pun intended, here at the Bar with an X. You can combine a Arak liqueur. A-R-A-K is the name of the spirit. It is a distillate of grape and anise seed that is one of the oldest spirits apparently known to man. Take Arak liqueur, the brand I was using was Zaklavi, and combine it with cinnamon sticks, specifically 36.2 grams or 8 small sticks of cinnamon sticks, and combine that with 150 grams of honeycomb and honey. We used a particular piece of honeycomb that we bought from our local Whole Foods and stuck it inside and let it infuse with the wax, let it infuse with the honey. I then took that on a hot plate and let the wax completely melt, shook the whole thing around like crazy, and then allowed it to completely strain out after everything was melted. And as it turns out, if you take cinnamon-infused beeswax and put that on a hot plate, it smells so good, and it still kind of smells good here. And I stand by that. To create your Spritz of Spirits, you need to combine the 2 ounces of this Sage of Spirit infusion and top the whole thing off with Prosecco for something that kind of tastes somewhere between a cinnamon gummy bear and something a little more citrus forward. And it's delightful. This one is my personal favorite out of all the Spritzes that we have here. And the final one is the Spritz of Time. Getting tired over here. I see Ethan saying smiley face and saying a lot of potassiums after one and after the other. Metaton says, can't read my, no, he couldn't read my poker face. I don't know what that means. I can't see your poker face because, like, I don't see no face. Use emoticons. You can use emoticons. It'll be great. Chlorfenstein says Spirits 1 is probably my favorite. This one? Just the one of light? This one over here? This one's kind of cool. This one, in particular, the Sage of Light infusion was very loosely based off of a pina colada. It does not taste like a pina colada in any way, shape, or form, but it's got some notes from that. Azaran says, Cam, my girlfriend wants to know what your room smells like right now. I kind of do too. There's like residual notes of cinnamon from when I was piecing apart the cinnamon infusion and had it on the hot plate. Other than that, doesn't really smell much in particular. Like, I'm just used to the smell of the Bar with an X. It doesn't smell like too much right now. It's unfortunate, I guess. In any case, the final infusion that we made, and oddly enough, I'm running really low on it already, which must mean that there was a lot of volume in the mason jar taking up the space for this particular one, is the Spritz of Time using the Sage of Time infusion, which can be created by combining 10 ounces or 295 milliliters of vodka with 178 grams of lychee nut fruit, not the skin of the fruit. 178 grams of lychee nut and 200 grams of white dragon fruit. All of that combined together, allow that to strain out after sitting for however long you want to infuse it for. This one in particular was notoriously difficult to strain out because lychee nut is kind of slimy, and that slime that is on the outside of the lychee nut does not want to go through a coffee filter. So I had to improvise a little bit and make sure that this like strains out fast enough. There's a bit of particulate matter still in this. I wasn't able to strain the entire thing in time, but we learn, and we learn along the way. To create your corresponding Sage of Time in Spritz, specifically our Spritz of Time, take 2 ounces of your Sage of Time infusion, combine it with ½ ounce of a rich simple syrup, and then top it all the way off with soda water for something that has a very, very light note of lychee nuts, a little bit of nuttiness, but all around rather refreshing with a hint of savoriness too. It is very, very, very interesting. In any case, I see people saying, Pixie says, everyone knows you can't smell your own home until you're away for a few days. Anytime I walk outside and then walk back in, it's a lot. And I do apologize about the volume of things. I usually don't have the microphone this close to my face, but my bottles are just too damn large. It's crazy. She's right. Leave your room for a second, then come back in with a fresh nose. Turn down the volume. But then I can't hear Cam. Pick a lane, y'all. Oh my gosh. It's okay. It's okay. You'll be happy to know that this is the end of the stream anyway, because this is all that we have here. So I'll take my camera and I will tell everybody that we are all done here. I am curious if you made it all the way to the end. Although I cannot share these drinks with you specifically, if you had to pick a favorite, which one would you pick? The Sage of Light is pineapple-ish. The Sage of Forest is lime-like. The Sage of Fire is strawberry pepper-like. The Sage of Water is blue raspberry-like. The Sage of Shadow is pepper grape-like. The Sage of Spirit is cinnamon honey-like. And the Sage of Time is lychee nut type. And that's where we're going to leave it this evening. As I go over and click this button. There we go. I have to snake my way to my keyboard to do those button combinations. This has been wonderful. It's such a pretty assortment of drinks. Thank you very much, Functional. I appreciate that. To everybody who made it all the way to the end, thank you very much for joining me for another adventure of cocktail showcases and everything else. This is one of my passions, to make drinks by jumping into the video games that we play here on the CameroxnWithAnX channel and use it as inspiration for whatever we've got. If you're interested in video games and cocktail mixology, this is, I would say, the place to be. The next playthrough that we have here is Kingdom Hearts 1. If you didn't catch the announcement for it earlier, it's probably been released on the socials at this point, but after our charity stream this Saturday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, where we will be doing a number of drinks inspired by Disney characters, games, board games, and otherwise, and benefiting Give Kids the World Village, which is an organization that is providing dream vacations for families who are otherwise facing some sort of medical time in their life where they otherwise would not be able to enjoy it, especially with their loved ones, young and old as well. So if you tune in for us on Saturday, no matter what your time zone is, it's likely that you'll pop in for the stream at some point in time. So I encourage you to show up. We're trying to raise $500 as a part of our goal for this particular stream. With additional milestone and things go up, the stream is probably going to be a little unhinged because there will be alcoholic cocktails and a number of people from our With an X community joining us for the entire event. It's been great. Pixie, welcome into the bar. Thank you so much for joining us here. You will always have a seat here at the bar with an X. That's all I've got, y'all. So I look forward to seeing you all on Saturday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. If you're not in the same time zone as you're going to have to do a little bit of conversions. Or you can go to the YouTube channel where the streams are already scheduled, and it should display in whatever your local time zone is to make it easier for you. And we got notifications in our Discord and stuff as well, but, you know, don't let me force you to do anything. Honestly, just have a wonderful rest of your night. The fact that you popped into this point anyway is greatly appreciated. I'm a little tipsy, and now I have to clean up. So that's what I get to do after this. But I'll see you all on Saturday. A lot of work ahead of us. I see Functional saying, Pixie saying Spritz of Forest or Time as the ones that Pixie would pick. Goodbye, says Ethan. Functional saying, as far as flavor, I'd like Time the most. I think Shadow would be my favorite, says Azaran. And I think I got all that. Oh, Pixie is your girlfriend. That's great. Anna really likes the Spritz of Spirit as well. She pointed at it off screen. Hot
tamale, right?
That's true. That's true. That's true. Night, everybody. Thank you indeed. And DN, thank you for popping in at the last moment. It's going to be awkward, but I have to reach my fingers over to do the button combination that turns my face off. Thank you, everybody. Hope to see you all on Saturday. But until then, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.